So we are 10 days into the new year, 1600 Erith calendar. With the closing of the Everstorm, the people of the Concord prepare for the first great holiday of Wawel, the month named after the first hierophant of Bouldray. The town of Rackmere, a southern paradise, the people are hard-working, pious, and they enjoy the spoils of their hard labour, such as delicious fruits and intoxicatingly good wine. Many would travel miles to taste these delicacies or pay a small fortune to have it come to them. As is common, the lingering effects of Talos might on the earth are still felt early in the year. It has not stopped raining since the beginning of the year. However, this has not stopped the people of Rakmir from celebrating their most beloved god. The banquet brings the large town together in a show of kindness and joy unlike any other celebration. Great tent shelters and Great tents shelter the galling masses from the downpour. Whole districts are shielded by gargantuan canopies of brilliant blues, deep reds, and playful yellows. The religious iconography of sharing, love, and family and art pieces are hand drawn over decades by Baudry acolytes on the underside, give the people beneath them something to gaze up at that is quite beautiful. Families are reunited. There are shouts of excitement as lovers surprise their distant partners with their returning. Children run in between the gaps of the shelters, dodging the rain, sloshing through puddles as their laughter brings their parents down on them. Upset, their little ones have gotten their best formal wear, dripping wet. Toasts from long old companions to those that are in attendance, or them that are in ashen-filled urns and are no doubt deeply missed. All of this communal spirit is located on the streets of Rathmere, interlaced with stunning greenery, wild raspberries growing and getting ready for spring, and vibrant flowers welcoming the moisture in the air. Starting in the centre of the town at the San Signon Square, the tradition of the long table begins, where all residents take out their own dining room tables from their homes and connect it to this multi-segmented wooden hydra. Tens of thousands of stools and chairs are filled for hours as people feast, drink, and enjoy themselves with the person beside them. Be it a sibling, a marriage partner, child, or stranger, all are welcomed and celebrated at the long table. You can smell sizzling goat meat that has been marinated in honey laced with pepper and lemon, lobster and crab boiled with a side of mustard butter, freshly baked bread and rolls ready to be cleaning for the last scrapes of garlic and mint condiments to accompany many meals. There are golden brown baked pies with the heat wafting off them, the scent of warm rhubarb steaming out, freshly mixed cream, custards of differing tartness passed round. The people here fill their plates and that of strangers around them, all of them here to separate the key teachings of Bouldering. Desperate, desperate, despite the driving rain, the booming thunder, and the flashes of white fork lightning above, a spectator can see no effect the harsh weather is having on the people within the cityscape. It's almost as if the storm wasn't there, wasn't there to the celebrants under the shelters. Buskers with accordions, deeply charged guitar strumming, with the clicking of castanets, supporting play, the music that people love. They dance, they sing, and there's smiles all around. And now we focus in on a little tavern not far away from Sansanon Square, just at the centre of Rakamir itself. We can hear a busy, lively tavern filled, as again, most people are on the streets at this long table tradition. However, taverns, businesses, restaurants, whatever may have, they're still pretty well filled. It's in this tavern that many people, many businesses have been paid or sought after by the Church of Boulder to provide, catering, refreshments, whatever they can do to the people of Rackmere. And as we can hear, like the creaking of wood as people are carrying around like stools and tables and chairs and passing the last of what's needed on for extra seating, we focus on an older gentleman who is going around the bar, patting people on the back and saying thank you and getting appreciated. He's quite olive-skinned, taller for a dwarf man. He dressed formally, as most people are for this event. We see him going around. He has a round, bland face with a long braided goatee. He has short braided black hair and deep emerald green eyes. He's quite a beefy build, and on his left hand is this wooden prosthetic hand that creaks and kind of minutely moves as he's going around, but he mostly pats people on the back with his remaining good hand. And we see him like walk over towards the cellar where there's like some candlelight down there, and he shouts down and says, "Lorana, get up here! You're going to miss the celebration."
Is that like, am I coming in now? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So
So
as you kind of
yeah.
step out of the darkness, you're probably carrying like one last ale barrel on your shoulder up this stairwell. What do we see? What does your character look like, and how are they dressed for this event?
So as he's walking up in the light, you see he's fairly tall. So he's usually about 6'2". So I know I have the picture on the thing. So he actually does look quite similar to that, but he is noticeably a little bit older than that. He's sort of so he's probably about 6'2". Steps out, um, like I said, probably about middle aged looking kind of man. You can sort of see he does have that chestnut brown hair, but you can see it's beginning to sort of grey in a little bit, and he does have sort of this uh, got a beard, which you can also see. You can see there's grey hairs in that, so he's sort of beginning to get on in there years at this point. But or rather, he comes out actually still quite similar to the picture, somewhat like almost robes, like wearing sort of robes, but over the top of it, he does have a breastplate and some sort of metal gauntlets on, as well as greaves.
Yeah,
So he's
still
still coming
armored.
out fairly. He still comes out armored, but he is very exuberant. He actually comes up quite joyously. So in response, he was also going to point out, I'm still experimenting on the voice. It might change, but here we go. I would not miss it for the world.
Ah, it's so great to have you here. It's not very often we get such strong, able bodies helping out with the
Uh,
festivities. You've been working for a week and a half, breaking your back in the rain.
it is my pleasure to help.
Ah,
I was
it's yeah. And he pats you on the shoulder and says, "Well, I'm just about to let the staff have the rest of the evening off. Again, your room is covered by the church. The bed of roses, though, is always open to yourself if you come in the future. But feel free to stay for a couple extra days after the festival ends, free of charge. Don't worry about it. You've done so much for the tap house."
Lunok will sort of let out a bellow of laughter as well, and like give him a pat on the back. It is good to hear. I am glad to be here, and I'm always happy to help anyone really.
I know you're too charitable for your own good. You teach poetry's teachings too well, my friend, too well. And you see as he like kind of moves past you, he's got on the back of his clothing, he's got a big symbol of the Church of Baldray behind him. So he's just moving past, um, and you see as he moves past, the front door to the tap house swings open, and we see this smaller individual come in and start to wipe like some of the rain off their head, and then they're joined by a smaller figure, but past them, um, and the taverner shouts to them and says, "Did you get those ropes secured?" He goes, "Aye, boss, aye." And he, the smaller figure, the second smaller figure, as they walk in, why don't you go ahead and describe your character, Stoti, as you've just came in, fastening the ropes to endure the storm to keep the tarps up
Sure.
around the front of it.
So you see a forest gnome come in with grey hair and pretty much a trimmed grey beard. Looks a little bit old, but he still has quite a jaunt to him as he enters into the tavern. Even though he's soaking wet, he's still sporting a cheeky smile. Pretty tanned for where he comes from, I suppose, and he's wearing primarily brown leathers, but is also trying to look fancy, so is wearing somewhat of a half decent overcoat, which would have the symbol of Baldray on the left shoulder.
Yeah, nice, nice. So the barman Pio, who both of your characters have been staying at the Bed of Roses tap house for a little while now, helping out with the setting up. He reaches behind the bar and grabs a cling tile and tosses it towards the first man. And he goes, "Cheers, boss. That's me. Enjoy yourself. I'm away to see my missus." And he goes, "Have a good time, my friend. Don't feel like you need to come into work until the day after tomorrow. Just take it easy." And he just gives a thumbs up and heads out the door. And then reaches behind and throws you a clean tile, like tosses underhand and tosses you a clean tile. Um, and he just it's just the three of you left now. The that kind of last other workers within the bottom floor of the tavern of the tap house have left, and the door is just closed behind it. And you see that with his left hand, his wooden hand, he fishes out a pipe from his pocket, and looks at two of you smiling. And what did I do to deserve such great hands in the preparation for the festival?
Pleasure to
Uh,
help. Where did this come from? From what I've heard, this place has sun.
Aha, I had hoped for sun. We saw the clouds earlier, but I'd hoped it would stay away, but it seems as though it is not to be. But I do not think it will impart too much of a mood on the proceedings. Everyone here seems like they're still in good spirits. God.
Despite the rain, it is still warm enough with one's cloak and shawl over it. But I must admit, rain since the new year? Ugh, diabolical. Ah, well. Well, I'm going to close up shop. Bar the door. I don't want any riffraff getting in once the night gets too late. You two men, go enjoy yourselves. Just find a nice little spot on a long table, eat, fill your bellies, fill your gullets of drink, and have a good time.
Oh, I certainly plan to. I would not miss this for the world. Think of all the
Sounds good.
food. But before we go, is there nothing else you need more help with?
I've actually never been this prepared for the festival before in my life. Uh, everything is out. All the cellars out, all the extra chairs, the tables, the ale. You have lifted and tied and fastened everything that the roses can provide to this festival. No, relax, relax. Go enjoy yourself. You've traveled, both of you, from what you told me, a long time um, to be here and waited even longer. It's worth the celebration. Just go out, enjoy yourself. I'll be here in the morning. Just be me on the staff. So don't be troubling me too much with your breakfast orders.
Fine
We
by
will
me.
not.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, he fishes out some tobacco, crams in his pipe, and says, "Don't worry about the door. Just close it on your way out." And he goes and fetches a chair, drags it towards one of the tables, one of the last remaining chairs in the tavern, if not the last, and fetches himself a seat with a smile on his face. Puts both his feet up on the table and just starts to look out the window. And you can just see like the light, you can hear the noise, you can more or less start to smell the creeping sense of like food, of just a feast
Yeah.
outside.
Lyranok will sort of gesture and go, "Well, shall we? It is not going to eat itself. Should go, be merry, and have fun. See what there is out there."
Lead the way.
Okay. Lyranok will, I guess, leave the tavern.
Yeah. So as you step out, it's immediately just that loud raucous of laughing, joviality, shouting over people. It's shoulder to shoulder cramped. Like you can see the long table is like 25 feet away in front of you, and it's just absolutely filled. There is no place for really extra platage or cutlery or much extra food. And the food that is appearing there, there's like these other businesses nearby that are just bringing these huge trays of just cooked meats and sauces, soups, um, freshly boiled vegetables, all these just absolute copious amounts of feasting coming out to tables. People going, watch it, get out of the way, clear room, and like people just shouting to get through to the long table to put it on. As soon as there's kind of another whoop and a shout when more food arrives, and people just want to reach over and start to fill their plates or just put it in their lap and kind of do a runner and walk up and down the street with it. So why don't both of you make me a perception check to see if you guys can find two chairs next to one another to find find an opening on the long table.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the
that?
general?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
This bodes well, boys, or really badly. One or the other.
Welcome to your only
Oh,
20th
now
campaign.
I have to roll now though.
Yeah.
My question is, what's the general height, the average height of people around here?
I mean, so Rakimir being a southern city, it's got a bit more of like a dragonborn presence there. It's like tall, like humans tend to be like most of it 20-25% of the population. And after that, it goes halfling, dwarf. So, at a glance, you're still seeing a lot of halflings, a lot of dwarves. The taller races tend to be like either a tall human or maybe a couple dragonborn you can see. There are gnomes as well, so you see a smattering of gnomes here and there. And the thing is, even though it's crowded and it's sheltered, people in the society are aware there's different heights. So people tend to keep a bit more of a bubble around themselves and are aware that people's down at knee height or waist height. So it's not like it's in other cities where you've been like maybe Erith when it feels like a bit more of a crush.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty packed. But yeah, you just keep eye of probably Loranic. Yeah, roll me a perception check as well,
Sure.
Orly. 4. There we go. That's it. So
That's
Loranic, as Orly is basically swamped in the haze of it, and sometimes like Orly, you see gnomes go hi, and oh, hi, you enjoying your day, and they give you like a little like clasp on the shoulder and like give you a squeeze, like oh,
Then it's back
really,
to the
really
wave of not seeing anything and just
y-
people's
yeah,
arses. Dude,
yeah.
I'm 3'4", by the way.
There's almost like there's conversation at tall people's heights and there's conversations and banter at low people heights. There's like two levels of chatter of conversations within this crowd. But Loranic, as you step out, and as people see you, because it's quite obvious your lineage, some people just say, "Oh, Baldur's blessings! There's an Azamar here," and shouts and whoops, and like some people like look at your armor and point, and then as you kind of make your way through, you see an obvious parting of like maybe 2 chairs on what would be your side, and maybe another 3 chairs on the other side, with one person sitting in between the 3 chairs that would have been free. So yeah, you see a spot right in front of you.
I just want to imagine that because I'm assuming he's still carrying that keg that he's
Yeah.
taking out. He literally sort of goes, "Bonus blessings, fine. We have one last keg." And then like
Yeah.
that's kind of why everyone parts for him, because it's like it's an Atma and he's
Yeah.
brought ale.
Yeah, it's great. And then someone's suggesting, "Oh, let's take that off your hand," and you go, "No, no, 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 no." And then eventually, like a helper to the day comes over and says, "Oh, set it here," and you set the cask of ale down, and they just quickly just smack in a tap, and there's a whoop and a cheer, and just people
Lurnock
just start
will
filling up their mugs.
make sure that everyone else, like he'll fill up a mug and then start handing them out before
Yeah.
he takes his. He'll like
Yeah.
he wants to make sure that everyone else is having a good time.
Yeah, sweet, sweet. So yeah, you do that. So you fill up the mugs and stuff like that, and then you still look over and you're like, those seats are still free, even though a minute or two's passed. So do you head over there to the opening?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Get some soup.
Yeah. So
Did I get lost, or am I still
you're still with
with
him.
Lorna?
You're
Okay.
still with him. Yeah.
Okay.
You just can't see seats, but you can still keep up with Loranic.
Cool.
So both of you head over and you see right in front of you. There's 2 stools free. Right there. There's fried calamari. There is a toasting spit of a shoulder pork, and there's like some chicken legs there that have been like kind of pulled apart by a fork, but they're good to pick up enough. There's still plenty of food on this corner of the table, and do you guys do take a seat, you see one individual right in front of you wearing the kind of dark blackish clothes.
I'm assuming it's me.
It is. So, yeah, so as you head over Loranic and Orly and you kind of take a seat down and you step, why don't you describe what your character looks like, Ryan?
In contrast to the merry joy happening around us, there is a man who is not having fun, whose posture is poor, slightly hunched forward, with not a frown, but definitely not a smile, sitting there, as though he cannot see any people around him. He just is in his world, surrounded by things.
Yeah. So
Very pale skin, very dark eyes and hair. Features just strange enough to get your attention, but not enough to set him out.
and did I see the medallion swinging from your neck in the light?
Yes, they do. Medallion of Tear.
Yeah. So you see the practitioner, the lawmaster, sitting there in front of you in kind of darker robes, just that symbol mark of church allegiance to them. But to you, Loranic, with your perception, you are they staring so hard at that plate of calamari that might just be too far enough to reach the other side of the table, or are they just staring into space and like maybe they don't do well in crowds? So as you two kind of show up, do you acknowledge them, Hendrik?
Yes. When they get close enough, it's obvious that they're going to be sitting here. There's a brief judgmental tear down of, but it's a stare that lasts only half a second. Just, from top
How
to
wide is the
bottom,
table?
each of you.
Probably like 6.5 feet from chair to. Yeah, it's a pretty big table. Like there's a lot of food on it.
You will see Leonard having this big beaming smile on him as he looks at you.
You will see a pair of beaming smiles.
Come, friend. This is a time of celebration. You look so dour. Tell me. What is the matter? Can we help?
Mr. Mearden returns the smile very quickly before returning to his default expression of just wanting to be left alone.
Oh, you have met the wrong person for that, friend.
I am doing just fine.
Is the food not to your liking?
I have already eaten too much.
No, there's no such thing. I'm sure there's some stew around here. I tell you, I smelled it earlier. It was amazing. You should try it paired with the bread. And he's gonna start looking around because he's crazy. The bread was somewhere around here. I remember the stew was made by servants of Boulder, but the bread was found from a local restaurant. It's amazing to put together. I don't remember which bakery it was from, but it was from. I know it was here. And just there, like, yeah, try something. Let's go.
Have
you try to try to draw a conversation.
Have you got a drink, Ryan?
No, the only thing in my hands is a very large leather tome.
Oh. Okay. How tall is Lyranok?
Lyranok is 6'2".
Good hell. Okay, I don't look to my side. I look up then to fucking Lyranok. Why don't we get our friend a drink?
Sounds like a plan to me. Let's go. And yeah, Lyranok will absolutely be like, yeah, go get him a drink.
Yeah, just a sad smile from from Hendrik, I guess. Yeah, Hendrik. It seems like he's used to what's the word? Not encourage people, but just like nodding and saying, yes.
Yeah, people who can read the room, whereas we can't.
Yeah.
This is the best day. You've waited for this day for a long time. You're just in such jovial spirits. Yeah. So, do you head off to fish him a drink then, Orly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's half a dozen different brands of ale of different colors and there's stouts as well. You notice that there are these almost like cherry brown large barrels, like taken over to lift, turned on their sides in these wooden racks, and they are branded with Montilla winery vineyards.
I was going to say I'm going to probably look for wine, considering
Yeah.
how he's dressed. I wouldn't typically go for wine straight away, but I want to try and impress and make this new friend happy. So
yeah. So as you head over, just in attending, just ask how many glasses and or cups really, and you get two cups of wine. And they fill them quite generously. I mean, this single barrel could probably fill like 500 cups of wine, and you see that there's just a row of maybe 6 of them on the back end of an alley. There's a lot of wine here, and it's got this beautifully sweet aromatic smell to it. And do you taste your one as you go back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Before on the well, actually, probably not. I'm probably scared to death because
yeah,
people are gonna push into me and stuff like that. So
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you're pretty dexterous, so you see the spots and the gaps in the crowd, and you make your way back, and then you've got the awkward task of trying to put your
I'm gonna hand
yeah,
at last to Lyranok to hand to our new friend because I can
yeah.
not reach across.
Okay. So, Hendrik, we haven't discussed names yet, but you get handed a nice opaque cup of lovely smelling wine.
I hold when I get it. I hold it up in cheer, but
Yeah.
again, just the complacent smile,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, you will see him sipping on this one mug of beer through the entire evening if you
Nope.
stay with him.
This is fine. You know
No,
what he is drinking.
nope.
It's
Oh,
pointing.
Yeah.
I thought you said nope. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's at this point to what would be your right hand side, Hendrik, up through the crowd. You can hear this like kind of loud murmuration through it, and you just hear one voice go, "Look at the fucking size of him!" And heading your way is towering over the crowd. You can see. Well, what do they see, Roan?
They see a dragonborn. One might describe him as a big fuck off dragonborn.
Accurate.
With
That's big.
yep. Uh,
Yeah,
who
you thought my character was tall.
Yeah.
yeah, and he's walking with someone, but because of the rain, he has this big tower shield that he's holding over the two of them like an umbrella.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so there are a lot of tarps around over above, so the rain isn't actually coming through. But if you do like look up, you can see this beautiful handwork of scroll work on the underside of the tarp. But yeah, just thought I'd add that. So you're not
Yeah,
getting wet while you're at the festival.
yeah. So yeah, so then I guess you wouldn't be doing that, but yeah, he's big. He is a sorry, brain slow. He is a silver dragonborn, I believe. I'm trying to remember where I marked that down. I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Silver dragonborn. With a curious on tower shield, sort of warhammer on his side, but he's just like smiling and looking around, and he clearly can't wait to get stuck in to the celebration going on. Like he spots certain foods and certain drinks, and he's trying to remind himself to come back for some of that later.
There's so much of that. There's more than the eye can take in for the amount of food, and it's just a deluge of just beautiful smelling food. And the companion beside you, that's walking beside you, are you guys discussing anything? Are you guys talking? Are you just making your way, both smiling through the crowd?
I think that the I'm assuming the companion is me.
Yes.
I think that Torko will be discussing or talking about like just the structure and how it's so nice to see how the people have managed to erect all of this, like all these tarps and tables and everything like that to celebrate. Which god is it we're celebrating?
The Banquet of Bowls, right? It's a
Bodrin.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've probably been following the same table for around 25 minutes trying to find a chair.
Yeah.
So and you finally see it net right in between. There's this guy, in the middle in like dark shades, and then across them is a forest gnome and an Azamar, in armor as well. And you both of you see the opportunity to sit down right in between this guy. So Hendrik, the question is, do you let them sit either side of you, or do you shirk up to another person beside you so they can sit next to each other?
I think he moves out of the way. He's
Yeah,
not
so
going
you
to be
move one
causing.
over.
Yeah, it's too much. It's like too much effort to stop them.
Yeah. So you come over and you set down the tower shield, and funnily enough, the chair that you have, Dragonborn, I'm trying to remember your name. The one that you
Thoric.
have, Thoric. When you go to sit down, the chair kind of creaks a little bit, but then there's metal reinforcement under the chair, and it like just stays where it is. So even your weight, your huge weight, because sometimes different races come, and there are people eating in armor. Like it's not an uncommon sight to see people, because it's a formal wear. Sometimes the best things people have to wear is their armor. So there's that part as well. So both of you sit next to each other, and Orly and Loranic, you see these two new companions approach and sit down on the table in front of you. And you guys just start filling with food as soon as you guys have got a table. You're like, right, time to dig in.
Absolutely.
Hells yeah.
Torkel is like trying to find a way to drink 2 pints at once. He's like really, really excited.
Yeah. So as you just take a seat, there's it seems like a matron of like some local restaurant comes over and just sets down, sees that you guys don't have immediately like hot food in front of you, and goes, "Oh, excuse me," and just like leans past and sets down like another bit of like a row of just like 6 goose legs that have been fried and like a lovely brown crispy flesh on the outside. I can see just them smoking, and it looks like they've been covered with like this beautiful berry sauce, just drizzling and shading off the light of the torches around.
Awesome, but what's Sean's character going to have?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much like bread, like salad, whatever you feel like having. So much choice, so much choice.
What does Torkel look like?
Oh, yeah. Torkel, I mean, in comparison to Thoric, he's a little diminutive, I suppose. He's 4'3", quite an elderly looking sort of dwarf, who like walks along with his companion, a long beard that used to be dark, brown, borderline black, but you can see it's starting to grey. Sort of craggy features with a shaved head, walking in, I think, is it lamellar armor? So it's like strips
Yeah,
of iron, and stuff like that. And then on his left shoulder, he has a sort of unusual looking like pauldron with a motif of some kind of like monastery or cathedral on top of a hill. The monastery is made out of like inlaid with like chrome, and the hill is made out of copper. And then you can see that there's sort of a depiction of some sea and maybe a river or something like that, made from sapphires and some emeralds.
So Thoric and Hendrik, I want both of you to make me a perception checks, please.
Oh boy.
There's no bad rolls, don't worry. Apart from that, that's a bad roll.
Wow. Okay. So your armor, Thoric, is it quite obviously decorative?
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. What did you say?
Is your armor quite obviously decorated to the likes of Bahamut?
Yes.
Oh,
Not only with
So
the maybe what's, let's say, necessary from
yeah,
the church, but he also has like sort of tarps and decorations of Bahamut. So he's definitely a follower
he's a
of
walking
Bahamut through
mural.
and through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hendrik, you see this, you notice it before anything else about this individual, and I guess the ball is in your court. Do you slip that medallion of tear down your shirt, or do you keep it on show?
No, I pay hardly any attention to Thoric at all. But I do like folk. Mr. Hendrick has been just sort of not focusing on anything, but he will like look at Torkel when Torkel is it Torkel or Torkel?
Torkel.
No, fuck, that didn't help at all. Say it again, please.
Torkel.
Torkel,
Like
gotcha.
like snorkel.
With all
yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Like Torkel.
With Torkel stands up, Mr. Hendrick will reach up and grab his own hat and just lift it a few inches in like acknowledgement.
Good evening.
Evening.
It's a rather. Oh wait, no, that's Scottish. And that's a rather dour outfit for such a celebration.
You just get a shrug.
I understand. Some people like to be by themselves. And he goes back to like munching on some bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Three
absolutely
different
devours the
types of
whole loaf.
carbs, and two of them are liquid.
Yeah, yeah. You can dip the garlic bread into a macaroni pot and then coat it with like some mustard sauce or something like that, and just absolutely fill your boots.
So,
What's the phrase? Nursing a drink?
yeah.
Yes.
Hendrick is just nursing his drink.
Yeah. So the five of you are now in this kind of cluster, and you're not out of place. Like there's a bunch of people who look to be professionals in whatever sphere they have. A bunch of kind of commoners littered about it. It's just a menagerie of every depth within the Concord on this long table. And I said, this this table stretches all the way back to the head table within Sanson Square. And you're like maybe like a 5-minute walk from the middle of Sanson Square. So now like it's starting to get dim. It's dark. It's probably like 7:30 p.m. something like that. On this day, on the 10 day of and from what you've heard, there's an address from the Archzealot of Rakmir, probably coming up in around another half an hour. So you guys have probably got about another half an hour of eating, of talking, and until that happens. And usually what happens is people eat. The feasting probably starts like midday and just keeps going all the way till then. And then after the Archzealot's speech, a lot more entertainment comes out. But there's been intermittent dancing, there's been intermittent singing, performers, poets, jesters, all these other classical things hanging around, buskers. So, what do you guys for the next kind of half an hour? Is anything you guys would like to do or look out for?
Thork is purely about the food right now. He is like, he comes back with like 2 plates, puts them down, and then goes and gets
Another
gets another 2 plates and hands one to Torkel.
No,
So
okay,
he has like 3 plates for himself. He's a big boy. He needs a lot of food.
Just
So
absolutely
remind me again,
demolishing
how
everything around
tall
him.
is your character?
My character is 8 foot.
At some point, you just take off the breastplate and just put food in that.
I was thinking of using the tower shield as like a platter, but
As the plate. It's
My
not
character
actually a tower. It's not actually a tower shield. It is just a really big plate that happens to be useful for a shield.
Orly's gonna end up with a creak in his fucking neck with these two guys. 8 foot, man. You know the one person when you're out having drinks that always, once they get a few drinks into them, they just go off gallivanting and talking to random
Yeah.
people and stuff like that. That's pretty much what Orly is kind of doing for the next half an hour. He goes to get himself and Lyranok glass of wine. He's going to get one for Hendrik, but it's still full, so no point.
It's like 9/10 full still.
So it's full. And he's probably going for like 15 minutes of the 30 minutes.
Okay, so for that 15 minutes that Orly's gone, Torkel, Thoric, Loranek, and Hendrik, well, what are you guys getting up to?
I'm just eating nibbles out of a piece of bread and the smallest sips out of a beer and just going through this leather tome, just looking at things and as though he's studying it quite fiercely.
Okay. Perfect. So you're doing that. Anything specific for you, Torkel, Thoric?
I think that Torko's like eating and enjoying the merriment, but trying to make a discerned like approach to noting it down mentally anybody he thinks looks particularly interesting or unique or important.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you give me a perception check then, please?
Sure thing. Let me.
Yeah, you're pretty near the You're pretty near the middle of the town. So
If it will, yep, there we go. 16.
16. All right. Okay. Let me just roll something here. 3. All right. Okay. So while you are there feasting and you're around from maybe like 15 feet back through the main kind. I mean, the long table takes up most of the middle of the street, so it's kind of like almost like wherever this is coming from, they're kind of hugging the sides of the buildings. You hear kind of a shout of an official like, "Make way for the member of the council! Make way for the member of the council!" And people start to like part ways. And from your chair, you can see a vantage point people part, and they do this kind of like like dignity boy and make way, and you see a man wearing a facial mask of a golden half smiled and then split in half and then half mysterious kind of like grin, and they are wearing this beautifully burnished bronze breastplate, and then trailing behind them is almost like a lion's cape of inlaced with a ring, a necklace, sorry, that hangs over their shoulders and goes to their chest and goes to the back of their cloak, and it's this lovely sapphires and emeralds. You would recognize that the face mask and the kind of pendant on them probably marks them as like an official, and he's shouting council member, so you gather that. Why don't you give me a either history check or religion check, please?
Oh, I know these things. I'll do religion.
Cool.
18.
Perfect. You see the iconography on the kind of corner of the grinning mask, and also on their right shoulder, there's a kind of this sash hanging over their just their right arm, really, and it marks them as a probably high worshipper of Mina, the smiling
Mina.
one.
Trickery. Okay.
So you see them walking, and they're this kind of classic like pitch walk of just step one foot from the other, and they've got both arms behind their back, and it's and they've got a knuckle closed and one hand basically wrapped around like rock paper scissors, just walking forward and just nodding at people and smiling. From the mask, you can see like the perfect white teeth underneath the mask and smiling. And then eventually he like reaches out from the back of his hand and just gives a bag of coinage to someone and goes, "Blessings of me over here." And then he walks past another one and goes, "Blessings of me over here," and I just hands it out. And so people like, oh, excitedly open it up. One was like, "I got gold," and then there's like a woohoo, and then someone's like, "Oh, I got copper," and he's just passing out some bags of coinage.
Oh.
The folks going to debase the currency.
Yeah,
I'll,
I don't want to approach him or anything like that. So, but yeah, I would make note of that and just like comment to Thoric. Just like pointing out and laughing at the people who are like so surprised when they get like crap in the bag, basically.
Yeah. It seems like maybe like every fifth person gets like gold in their sack in their thing. Yeah. It seems like they're making their way towards Sanson Square.
Sanson Square. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. What about you, Lorana? Up to anything?
Leonardo couldn't quite best tell it. He's just reveling at the minute. So he is basically taking a very selfless approach. So he is trying to do everything he can to help like those around him. So when I imagine when the waitresses and things are carrying these like things, he's offering to help. He's trying to do this. When people like get bumped, he's over there. He's going to be over there to help them up and things like that. He is just trying to make sure everyone around him is having a fantastic time. And then whenever he probably is not necessarily far away from the table, but he's like probably stood quite a lot really because he's just so much going around helping other people. But he's probably going to be chatting with anyone that's still left at the table. Probably, well, let's be honest, it's probably going to be Thoric and Torkel at the minute.
This,
But
let me
Hendrix will be
turn
included if he wishes to be.
microphone.
But yeah.
There we go. All right, okay, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
No, sorry. Okay, but so I guess when he sat down, he'll chat to again Thoric and Torkel. It is good to see you enjoying the festivities. Are you here for the festival itself, or is it just a happy accident?
Happy accident.
Well, thought you were just timing then. Are you all here together as a duo, or is it?
We are, yes. This is my friend and companion Thoric, and I am Torkel.
Good to meet you. My name is Liranok.
Torkel tries to like scooch himself forward across the table to shake your hand, but it's not going very well because he's not a very large person and it's a very large table.
Yes, Liranok will try and reach over as well, but if nothing else, if he can't reach, he'll try and like cheers you with the mug.
Yeah.
And he's just here for anything. And also I probably should mention, now that you guys are closer, you can sort of see he's got 3 runes carved onto his armor that you can see. On the center in the heart, he's got Baldre. Let me get this right. Then on the left shoulder, he's got a mark of Veela, and on the right, he's got a mark of Numella. But you can see the other 2 ones in his shoulders are a little bit like they're there, but they're not as prominent as the mark of Baldre on his chest. It's directly over his heart.
Okay.
And then on his back, you can see he's got a big greatsword. And I'm assuming because you'll probably be able to see it, that has marks of Oddred
how great?
on it.
How great is this sword?
Pretty significant. It is very much a war sword.
Wait, the sword has a mark of bold. Wait,
Has the mark? It has the marks of Oddred on it.
Oh, okay. Shit, you have 4 gods on you. Okay.
God that you don't worship.
I think this guy might be a bit.
He's very prominently Baldre, but yeah, there are marks of Oddred on the sword. But beyond that, he is just reveling. He's just happy to be. He's happy to see everyone having a good time, and that's his main focus. Make sure everyone here is enjoying themselves and no one. Because I imagine when it's like this crowded, there might still be tempers flare at some point, like being pushed and shoved and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some...
alcohol does
He's there to
alcohol
try and,
things.
like the mediator, and break anything up before anything goes too far.
Yeah, there are brass shields patrolling. So brass shields wear this kind of copperish tinged, semi-similar to what the gentleman was wearing before that Thorkel spotted. But it's got the kind of this almost like reptilian scale meal helmet on, and they're patrolling around, and they're doing a pretty good job of being around and breaking stuff up. But it's more or less just like, go back to your food, ignore it, get in the festival spirit. Nothing major that you saw requires any more attention. They just basically people are reminding them what the holiday's about. Okay, so it's at this point Orly returns, and it's getting pretty close to the Archzealot's speech, and you see people like winking and like shaking hands across the table and going, "Oh, farewell, stranger. Hope to see you again, and have a good rest of your time here," and like some hugging and stuff like that, and a group of teenagers. Being upset that parents want to go and listen to the speech. Like, the speech is the same every year. Why can't I stay here with my friends? And I'm like, no, you're old enough now. You've got to listen to what the Archfiddler has to say if you want to be part of this community. And it's just like, okay, fine, and just a lot of that. So kids are probably going to be bored at it. Adults want to go and listen. So people are starting to leave the tables and make their way towards Sanson Square.
I think the Torko will turn to Thoric. If you can spare some time from eating, maybe we should go and see if we can listen to the speech. It could be interesting, I suppose.
Speech is as good as anything else right now.
I would recommend it.
I also think that you can probably bring whatever you want. Just carry the plate.
Oh, definitely. There's people like there's some guy who's just got this massive robe on and has upturned it and like just sweeping food into like the crater of his upturned gown. Yeah. Hendrik, Manorley, and Lyranik, do you guys accompany them when they start to head off to go listen towards the speech?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
monsters. Yep.
I was
If I stay
gone,
with
but
these guys. Oh, right. Go ahead.
I was gone for a while, so I'm going to follow the lead of Lyranok. I managed to come back with 3 glasses of wine. I gave one to Lyranok, and I have the other 2, and I'm happily just following behind. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're fine, dude. It happens.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys start to make your way towards Sanson Square, and Sanson Square is pretty big. It's one of the oldest parts of the town, so the cobbles there are older. The architecture of this town is like very acute angles, like squares and vertices, lovely colored buildings like yellows, oranges, sometimes blues, but like that kind of very Mediterranean colored housing. Nearly all of them have a second story and balconies come out in the streets. So there's dozens and dozens of people on their balconies as well, cheering and listening out. So as you head into Sanson Square, the most noticeable thing about it is just the sprawl of people. Now there's maybe like 3,000 people just in this square alone, and it's pretty chock-a-block filled. You can hear performers giving messages, poets reciting it, works getting cheers and applauses. And you also see, as you move around, mostly in Sanson Square, acolytes within the kind of darkish, lighter blue wear of Balderay, going around with these kind of large weaver baskets, holding up a sign above their heads that says like donations and patronage, and people like dropping some stuff into these donation baskets as they go around, and people are like very generous, like people like sheltering out like a good amount of coinage each. And it's not like they're stopping people just go, oh hold on, and they just empty some of their wealth into it. Someone tries to put in a whole chicken, and they're like a whole cooked chicken. It's like, oh no, we don't need that. And you guys find some room, and you see within Sanson Square there's this huge marble statue that's probably like around 150 feet tall, and you can see it obviously. So it's like right at the middle of the square. It's of a man and a woman holding a young baby child. Yeah, so you see that there, and then amongst all of that, there's dozens and dozens of smaller marble statue fountains. So I should have said the statue fountain. The middle one is a big water display. So there's big shooting streams of geysers of water coming over it. And all the other statues are fountain displays with great marble statues in it. So as you head and find some room to see the head table, probably get within maybe 250 foot of it. Thanks to the bulk and just picking your way through and being patient. And the head table is the head table. It is this probably beautifully lacquer-worked, expertly made, carved deep timber material. And you, Torkel, you recognize the craftsmanship put into a table like this. This is ornamental. It is definitely got the marks and brands and burnishings of brass and gold inlaid into it. That would be a hallmark of kind of a Kinos assisted piece of furniture.
Yeah, I think Torkel is just like staring at it.
Yeah. So you see probably like a dozen other people at the head table, and then from that table it joins on to just more like finer decorated tables, and from there and then it just starts to section off through it. And some people, like, obviously the way the table and the long table is, you can't really get through to certain sections, almost like you're walled off. So people just end up like stepping on a stool, stepping over the table to go on the another side and stuff like that. So there's almost like these little alleyways where no one's put any foot on that table, but it's more or less people just step over it or lift their kids over it to get through to the other side, to another kind of opening. You do that a couple of times to get to the spot that you're in. So you see a bunch of different people there. Looks to be local council members on it, and you see the recognizable drab, the clothing of the art zealot. You see a dwarf, looks to be a hill dwarf. See, they have a long, wavy white hair and brown eyes. You're sitting down right now. You probably imagine they're maybe a wee bit shorter than Torkel. He's got rugged olive skin. They've got two moles on their left cheek and a kind of soft face of a kindly grandmother. Torkel, this is an old dwarf. This is someone who is getting close to being passed on and having themselves burned and ashes placed in an urn. They are it's an old dwarf. They are dressed in the lovely embroidered robes of an arch zealot with dark oranges and highlights of blues and yellow, and like the marking of office and the language of the gods of Immune, the Central Munian language of Erith, sprawled out across it. And it seems like people are starting to like get ready and get quiet for the speech and stuff like that. Anything you guys are keep an eye out for or want to look at during?
I think Thoric right now has I'm getting a echo through somewhere, but Thoric right now is has his little book out and a pen, sort of jotting down notes of the day so far and getting ready to note down how the speech goes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Hendrik? What are you keeping an eye out for? Anything? I'm going to take that as a no. What about you, Loranek or Orly?
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay, go ahead.
Hendrik is looking for pickpockets throughout the crowd, or just
Okay.
you know who mean ill.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Instead of perception, can I use insight?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. Just to get bad vibes from people. 23.
23. All right.
Nice.
Okay. It's a very good roll. You're in the middle of town. You're in a busy festival street. You do your absolute damnedest to look around and spot pickpockets, thieving, conniving, but more so you just see the presence of brass shields around, of just patrolling, and you probably get the sense that that presence and also the spirit of the place, if it was a time to rob somebody, probably not the busiest, cramped, cornered part, because you'd be funneled in if you did get caught, and you'd probably be driven up pretty hard by the brass shields. You do see like maybe some like performers getting stressed, like, no, we got to continue the performance, and then another performer's like, we can't keep playing in the middle of the Archdeacon's speech. And it's like, well, someone needs to hear my work. I've spent months on this. And he's like, I'm telling you, if you keep playing that instrument through it, you're going to get odd looks and get chased out here. It's like, why did I come to the middle of town? And you just hear like that. Basically, that's your interaction with someone in a bad mood.
The brass shields who are around, which god are they associated with again?
So they are mostly sort of in Netherlands, but they are like the judiciary is tier. The actual enforcement of law and patrolling is done by Netherlands. god of civilization and
Ah,
cities.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of brass shields still kind of can be aligned with Tyr's values as people who believe in the rule of law and stuff like that. Think of it as the way that within a police precinct you might have like judges or lawyers or whatever district attorneys working out of it or something like that. So it's getting pretty close to the Archzealot speech. So unless anyone has anything they'd like to do.
I've probably hit drunken state at this stage, I think. How long has it been since we sat down first?
Probably like since you sat down about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm small. I had
You're
a lot.
small. Yeah, and it's good wine. It's so good you don't taste the alcohol in it. It's just like tasting the sweetest, loveliest.
It's like sugar pops or whatever the fuck they like. Wicked, drink a
yeah,
Wicked.
yeah.
I'm wasted. I'm gone.
All right, okay. So you see at the head table. It's not elevated so much so you hear a trumpet blare. It seems like there's a bunch of aligned brass shields around, and at a certain time, it's dark now. You're still under this massive, huge tarp. It's probably like 600 foot across by 600 foot for the middle of the square, and a bunch of trumpets blare around the street, and then carried to by a couple of strong individuals. There's a dais getting carried and gets lifted onto the table, and food and finery is lifted away from the table to set it on the table in front of the Archzealot. And again, older woman with her left hand, she's helped by one individual on to her left and another individual on the right, and she steps up, and there's a hush, and people shh, start to calm, and you hear some children going, "Why?" and shh, be quiet. And the woman with this kind of kindly, almost like squinting eyes, looks out, and immediate you can tell the kind of chest movements of a spell being cast, and then the voice. A chuckle to come out, and it's immediately thaumaturgy. It's boosted. It's reverberated through, and it seems like it's echoing through the town somewhat. Such a beautiful evening. So good to see you all here. All right, let's get this merry show over with so you can get back to your feasting and celebrating. And some chuckles go out. So you see that she looks down, and you have just a delightful presence of people just taking it all in, so you see, she starts to look down. She fetches out some spectacles and says, "I still need these, no matter how hard I get." And she takes out these really small, fine spectacles and places them just in the bridge of her nose, and reaches out and gets some parchment in front of her. First of all, greetings and good wishes from the gods be upon you. To those among you to call Rakmir home, or are visiting for the first time, I give you a heartfelt thanks for joining us for this holy evening. She takes a sip of her water. Tonight we celebrate the best of our communities, families and kindness. We honor the teachings of the Hearthmaker and pay tribute with a feast where all are welcome. The rain, the wind, the power of Talos cannot dampen the spirits of Rakmir, and she raises a fist to that. We survived the Everstorm's power, and now we honor the Home Watcher. And get me another water. And some people laugh. She says it smiling to an attending. It is now that I have some sad news to share with you all. It pains me to speak it, but as Archzealot it is my charge to keep you informed. This morning, word reached us that Archzealot of Breakwater, Reuben Danuk, passed in his home. And some mutterings and gasps and just shock. She lets it hang then. She puts her hand up before people start asking questions. Please, I know
Know that I have relayed the messages of support to the family of Reuben. The council and I will be meeting a week from today to collect a farewell parchment for the Ashkeepers of Breakwater. If you wish to submit goodbyes, please attend then. What I can share with you about this passing is that it was an accident within his home, and that he did not suffer. I share this news with you to calm hearts and minds. He was a dearly trusted archzealot by his people, and a close friend of mine. In fact, Reuben spent time as an understudy with myself before he took the role. Please all, may we stand and pray his ashes find rest. His soul will be greeted to the halls of heaven. Now stand for a moment to commemorate our departed. And all of you and everyone else that's sitting down, they all stand. Now, we remember Reuben. And you stand there for a minute and take the silence in. And while that happens, I'm going to go get a glass of water.
Is it possible to get an insight check on it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, sure.
Just about the accident thing and
Yeah, sure.
let's see if we can try and.
He was accidentally
Dude,
stabbed
slip-
17 times.
No, 13.
Dropped
Yeah,
his.
I mean, from the inflection in the voice and the boldness to lie to a crowd like that, you're like you're like no, that seems pretty earnest. And you can read it in the inflections in her voice that she does seem distressed at the news, and it does seem like it's a preventative. I'm telling the crowd, the people of my city, of town, this now, so that doesn't create rumors and murmurings next day. They hear it from me. So yeah, I'm gonna go and top up my water. 2 seconds.
Too many hours in Ryan's campaign. Everybody's lying about everything. Got to check everybody, even the sweet old dwarf women.
Somehow I had no idea you were playing a dwarf, Sean.
I play a dwarf like 90% of the time we ever do anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's really
I'm
falling
jealous.
into that Scottish fantasy stereotype.
I really just, I just love dwarves in every facet of their being.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, they're great.
Let's continue this speech. So, after a minute's silence, people take helmets off. Russians take helmet off. People take hats off. People do look distressed at this. And finally, she speaks up with thaumaturgic boom reverberation in her voice. Now to the rest of the evening. I'm once again moved to see such a turnout at the long table. A tradition started in Rakmir by our forefathers. Please eat, drink, and share in the company of all around you. For the rest of the evening, we have Bliss Voice Carolina Pina, soothsinger of Namela, to perform for us tonight. And I offer a massive thanks to the Montilia Vineyard for donating some 800 barrels of delicious wine for the evening. I better not fill up on that too much. After that, myself and the council have hired dozens of entertainers and chefs to keep you laughing, eating, and enjoying the night's festivities. Carolina will perform in 3/4 of moon passing. That's 5 minutes for you knew what one counters with time. Bahamut and their scholars constantly changing how we measure time. All right. Finally, if you have spare coinage or wishing to donate to the Church of Baldry, acolytes are moving their way around the town. Each donation goes a long way and shall have the church prepare for the next banquet. Baldry's blessings to every one of you. Sing, dance, and don't sip too hard on the spirits. And she gives another fist gesture. Thank you all. Enjoy your evening. And she steps down from the table, guided by 2 hands, and the dais is then stood away. And there's a lot of clapping and cheering, and people, some young teens go, speech, and people are going, knock it off. But yeah, the Art Zealot speech is concluded, and people go back to it and stuff like that. But you've got a bit of time before this kind of performance starts.
Well, an interesting speech. It's a shame to hear what happened to the Archzealot of Breakwater. Had you ever been there, Thoric?
I have I haven't, I'm afraid, he says, as he's kind of like scribbling off sort of the end of it and closes the little diary he has on him. I haven't. An accident in the home. Unfortunate, but it happens.
Yes, I suppose. If our time is coming, it comes. It is a shame, though. I'm sure that there will be mourning down there. I wonder what they'll do to replace him. If there is someone that Erith was already designated.
Well, they already said that
Usually.
they're going to be convening a council.
This is
So I
true.
imagine they have some way of replacing him.
I don't think they'll leave somewhere like Breakwater without a Archzealot for very long. Nah. And I think at this point Torko's going to look around and take in the group as a whole, like for the first time today, sort of. Assuming that we're all like relatively bunched together.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
And I think he will address Orly because he's not, and Orly's obviously like, I'm assuming like standing, but like kind of wobbling.
Yeah, it's kind of like looking out to space, but smiling and more interested in his cup than anything right now.
It looks like one of our small friends here has drank maybe too much wine.
Ah,
That sounds right.
Do I have any reservations, Spells? No.
I don't need rest
No, I
or
don't.
moderation. I'm fine.
Do look like a stiff breeze may blow you over, but it is a celebration, so I suppose there is no better time. And then he'll look at names.
Moralic.
Yeah, that is a large sword you carry to such a quiet place. Is it their family heirloom?
So as you're paying attention to Lyrina, what before he notices, after the speech, you finally see him still and quiet for the first time. He's just you'll probably, but then as soon as you address him, he actually gets a little bit clipped. No, this is not a family heirloom, nor do I intend it for it to be.
Oh.
It is something I carry on me at all times because it is important not to be forgotten.
It is important for the sword not to be forgotten, or it is important for you not to be forgotten?
It is what sword represents. It is important that that is not forgotten for me.
I understand. I noticed that you have quite a few symbols of the gods. Are you some kind of... I mean, all of these you seem to have the unifying through line of order. Were you some sort of peacekeeper, lawmaker?
You'll see him twitch a little bit at that.
Oh,
It is complex, but no, I am not a lawkeeper. I am a protector nowadays, but I do not follow one single god. But the teachings of Baldre are particularly close to me. They would be my primary god, I suppose. But if I remember rightly, sorry, Cypher, there was like a word that was basically the triumvirate of Baldre, Vayala.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's
yeah.
kind of just known as like the gods of family. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
But I value family and kinship and respect and compassion. And as he sort of says it, he'll gesture to the three sort of symbols. They are my objects of worship more than a single god, but these three are the most closely linked.
Taco nods along.
And then
Well,
and he sort of just and as for Ogden, the relationship is a little more complex at the moment than I'd like to admit at the moment. And again, you'll see him get probably a little more introverted and quiet as he's talking about Aldrin.
I can see that you are a man who has many layers. I understand. Perhaps much similar to our friend in black. And he looks at Hendrik. You keep yourself very quiet. Is there a reason that you are here to celebrate? And then
Ryan, are
he
you
walks
muted
away
again?
because he is
muted.
blanked.
Ryan's not muted. Hendrik literally just doesn't talk to you.
I'm sorry, Sean. Could you repeat that? I still haven't clicked into Hendrik being my name, so
Okay, yeah. He just asked them. He basically just said is there I see that you keep yourself to yourself. Is there a reason you're here to celebrate?
a happy coincidence. I forgot this festival was happening at all, actually.
It's funny to me because you say happy, but your face does not show any happiness. Well, it is nice.
You just get a stare from Hendrik, yeah.
Torko looks up at Thoric and he says, "It seems we have some friends perhaps here.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
people that we can spend the rest of the day with, I suppose."
sounds good to me. I mean, this is the happiest I've seen Hendrik all day.
Well,
they're not part of it. But enough of this dour mood. It is still a celebration. We should go, revel, enjoy,
Drinks.
and get more drinks. Yes.
Okay. So as you're discussing and talking about getting more drinks, the dais that the orange zealot spoke to has been moved to closer to the middle of the fountain, the major massive statue fountain. And you can hear a little bit of strumming and a band starting to set up behind it. So the performance is going to start pretty shortly. I take it you guys just go and get some drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a while
Yeah.
since Tharic's last eaten, so let's get some drinks and some food.
I haven't eaten in 10 whole minutes.
I get a table while everyone else is getting drinks.
Okay, no problem. You go
For
find
yourself
a bit
or
of room.
for us?
For
Yes.
for everyone.
a one-chair table.
Cypher, is there? There's a lot of marble sculpture and stuff like that. But is there any kind of woodwork, or is it just primarily stone in this area?
There's a lot of wooden furniture, with the tables and the stools and stuff like that. This part of Rackamere is Old Town, stuff like that. There probably would be a lot of outside furniture for a lot of the eateries and communal spaces around San John Square. But because of the event, it's all been homunculized into the festival. But yeah, it's mostly brick and painted oranges and slate ceilings and bell towers and stuff like that around.
Okay.
It's not really a timber city, it's a lot more brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Are there any uniquely impressive buildings within the vicinity?
Yes, give me a quick perception check.
Sure.
He's so happy you asked that.
Got big old hard on for these buildings. Perception. 21.
Anyone?
Yeah, so right at the what would be the northern side of Sunson Square, you see a huge, what would almost be semi-manor incorporated with a corner of a schoolhouse look into a cathedral combination, and you'd recognize it as the Civil House, the operating headquarters of the Church of Baldry. And then to the east of it, to Sanson Square, you see a long building, quite delicate. It looks almost like Blenheim kind of style, but like Gothic, great architecture on it. And you recognize that as the Hall of the Zealot, where the actual Zealot themselves is based around and operates from, and the Council of Rakmir would convene.
Yeah, but Torko makes like a sort of beeline to just like stand and look at the building, the Hall of the Zealot.
Yeah,
Um,
it's auspicious. It's about 7 stories tall, and it's just lined with like windows and beautiful architecture, and like there's like 6 bell towers around it, like and you know from working at it, like different bells at different times mean different things. It's a way of organizing like decrees and calls and things like that. So yeah, it's massive and beautiful and stunning, and a real testament to what the bureaucracy, the aligned kinship, and ability of the Kinos department is available to do to craft masterworks like this to display the halls of the Zealot. But every town has a hall of the Zealot, and every town has a civil house, and it's very different depending on what town or city that you're in. I mean, the Hall of the Zealot within Erith it's almost like a miniature city within a city.
yeah.
You know, it's crazy. So yeah. So while you're pushing the building, you hear like the tuning of instruments, and you hear a woman's voice, a soft woman's voice, speak up, and she says, "Hello, everyone. I hope you have found your celebrations enjoyable. I'm very pleased to have been invited by the Art Zealot to sing for you all today. My name is Carlina Pina. I am a singer on behalf of the Church of Namela. I am going to be singing one of my favorite recent productions. And I'm accompanied by my magnificent band behind me. And it's like a full orchestra. It's like a full, like, great sculpture of instruments. And you see the woman. She's about 5'9", has a muscular build. She's got long, wavy auburn hair and brown eyes, and a rough golden skin, and a beautiful oval, fanciful face. But the most striking thing about her is she is an Asmar. She is sculpted perfectly within her feature, within her muscle tone, all that stuff, and she's wearing a very formal dress, quite respectful in the form of her physical form, but it's definitely marked with like kind of symbols of Namela and of beauty and of poetry and artistry. And as the instruments start to play and the voice of herself starts to sing, all of you recognize that the song that she is singing is a recent, quite famous but heartfelt rendition of the song of the Wooded Massacre, where over 100 years ago, tens of thousands of men, women, animals, children lost their lives to an ambush, a magical destruction planned and orchestrated by the King of Tailland. It's a very emotionally charged song to the people of the Concord. It's an immediate tearjerker, for there are people here today that experienced that, possibly, or had family, had friends, had relations, had people they knew that never came back from that tragedy, from that massacre. It's quite a long, drawn out, but sombersome, beautifully and eloquent piece of music, and the singing heightens the emotion of the place to where you see people quietly shedding a tear. You see what looks to be like an older human grandmother, like get offered to take a chair, and she just sits there and just takes it in and closes her eyes, and you see from the corners of her eyes just tears that roll down her face. You see some children just kind of wonderstruck by the piece of music as it echoes through the corners of Sanson Square,
and the magical artifices of the booming, what would have been reverberating voice is this lovely sonnet of music sung through the entire presence of Rakmir, and just beautiful silence. And for minutes, the thunder, the lightning, the rain drizzling the head of the tents, you can hear none of that. All you can hear is her voice as it tells a story of a man trying to escape the worst, that the hells that magical abominations could throw at him, as he tries to find his friends and find shelter. But then he realizes that there will be no becoming, there will be no respite. He will not find his way out of here. Instead, he seeks solace. He aims to make peace with what will come and what will happen to him, and he prays that his abilities don't save him, but the man next to him, the woman next to him, he wants to bring them home. And the song ends with the mystery of whether or not he succeeded, whether or not he finds total rest, and we don't really know what happens to him. And as the music ends and the singing subsides, there's just this all around applause that lasts for minutes. People sobbing, just this cheerful, just encore of people on their feet cheering, and you can tell that the artist, the singer, has moved to tears, and some of the orchestras as well. It is a wonderful piece of music. And the rest of you, we'll start with Lorana. How do you respond to the song? Hello? Maybe he is too moved to reply.
Oh,
Lorana?
sorry about that. Yep,
It's
no,
all
my
right.
bad. I was muted that time. He is quite he's quite pained by the song a little bit because it's such an unpleasant like there's just so much life lost and it's just what it means to him. But he's trying to keep jovial about it. Like he's not breaking down, he's not crying and his eyes out or anything like that. But it's just like it's unpleasant, but we'll carry on. It's a celebration. So he's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's respecting what the song represents and all the fallen, but you know, it's still trying to keep the good mood going almost.
I mean, there is a slither at the end of the music of the piece that of hope. Orly, you've had a lot of wine. How do you respond to such an emotionally charged piece of music?
I have sobered up very quickly after that song. I think for the first time in the evening, I'm not visibly smiling. I'm smiling, but it's very easy to tell that it's a pretense. I'm not really kind of frowning or anything like that. It's just kind of, yeah, the songs stay hard and just staring out.
Yeah. Thoric, you've read a lot about the Wooded Massacre. You've studied it. You've read a lot about it. But to have an expression of a song written about someone's point of view suffering the tragedy, it turns the history on its head. It's no longer just pages on a book. You can almost imagine what it would have been like to be so confused, so turned about, but just facing death right in your face. How do you feel about the performance, Thoric?
His emotions are pretty clearly evident. He wears them on his sleeves. He's tearing up quite a bit.
And Torkel, what about you?
I think Torko was actually alive when it happened because he's like 175.
Yeah,
So,
you remember when this happened? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's not openly weeping, but he like is standing like head bowed, almost sort of in prayer, but mostly just not reminiscing, but you know, recalling the feeling at that time when this thing happened and how everybody felt. But I think at the same time also trying like a little bit like Loranok, sort of like also trying to remembering how tragedy like that can also bring people back together and provide it at the end of the song, provide them hope. So he's trying to hold on to the you know how much better he feels about Erith now than he did at that point when they were actively at war and
Yeah.
massacres were happening.
It's the lowest low that you have in your memory of
Yeah.
the people of society. And finally, Hendrik, how do you respond to this music, to this old tale of a tragedy?
Hendrik is angry. Not outwardly so, but enough in his eyes that he went from like the sad smiling, just generic, to scold face. Just anger. Not
Yeah.
maybe at the song, but at the singer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And do you try to hide it, like, to your companions, or are you just like beady eyes on the singer?
It's not like outward rage. It's not like, blatant. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
his expressions are vague enough that it might be hard to tell what's actually going on in his head.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if anybody's curious about Hendrik's emotions, you guys could make an insight check for against Hendrik if you guys wanted to.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I think I'll Hendrik is the most not interesting, but not the most interesting, but like he's definitely sorry, that's so rude. But I mean,
ignore the +5, but
Okay.
What the fuck?
yes, the curse has been lifted from my last character. Holy shit, she couldn't roll for anything.
Touch wood.
that's 2 crits already.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me your deepest secrets.
So Torkel
Tell
and
me your
Loranic,
backstory.
you spot it instantly. You do see like there. Well, why don't you explain to them the emotion that they can read on your face, Hendrik? Like what, peering at you and studying you and your reaction to the song. Really, what are they able to tell from you?
How long ago was this event that's being sung about?
About 120 years.
Yeah. So it is the fuck, for a crit, I'll give you everything. It is the expression of someone who is hearing a fucking pop song about a horrible event that they like lived through.
Oh.
It is disrespectful and it is upsetting to be reminded of something.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, I mean the music, when it first premiered this song, people wrote it off, but unfortunately the song just caught on, and people view it as a more I don't say celebratory, but more of a piece to try and imagine what it was like. But for people like you and Torkel, you were alive when your nation suffered this great defeat, and it is like a song that's been commandeered by people to stretch their vocals to try and emulate emotion. It's a bit of a cheap trick to get sympathy points. I won't lie to you. And to such a large audience,
disingenuous for someone who was not alive at the point, or like who hadn't experienced that. Just sing about that.
Yeah, so Torkel,
obviously a ridiculous like position to take in reality, but emotional, emotional drives.
Thoric, you get hints of anger from Hendrik, but you can't really super place it well.
No worries.
Okay.
Sorry, Torkel gets everything. Loranic gets everything.
Oh, sorry.
Thoric gets confused. So, Torkel and Loranic, you guys could pursue a conversation with Hendrik.
Is there? Oh, excuse me. Is it possible to age Hendrik? Like, can I estimate how old he is?
It'd take perception or insight.
Investigation, possibly, or insight.
I was thinking investigation, but can you investigate people?
I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
yeah.
That's a-
Like
that's a-
age
that's
in
a
a
weird
tree,
one.
isn't it?
Details of face,
Yeah.
yeah.
I need to be fair. Well, I think we as players know what you are, but I don't think the characters necessarily do. Remind me, have you got like a hood or anything up?
I have long hair, and
Which means it's gonna hide the obvious.
I mean, as in my pictures, I have a perm. And a big hat.
I have absolutely no idea what Ryan is.
No.
As a character or a person. No. I might try and do an investigation on him.
Man making his way through the world.
Yeah, I'll put the token up there.
Nope.
Investigation. No, you're not sure. I mean, he's firm-faced. He's looks to be like what, mid-30s, coming into his early 40s. Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 35.
Yeah. Weather hasn't really got to him too much. Chiseled jawline, clean face, no spots. Yeah. Hard to tell.
His hat is old as hell, though.
His clothes are probably like antiques.
His clothes are his style is the style of like 50 years ago, at least.
I think that Torko just thinks that
like
Hendrik is
it's like a
dressed in his
Puritan.
granddad's clothes.
It's like a Puritan walking around like 18th century England.
All right. With that, we'll take a quick 15-minute break, and we'll come back in 15 minutes. We'll come back at just about 5 to 7 p.m.
I'll see you at in 20 minutes, 19, whatever.
Yeah, no problem. That's grand. 20 minutes is fine.
Okay, guys.
Go get food.
You guys enjoying it?
Indeed, a lot. Thank you.
Very much. So.
I had my sleep's not great, so my brain's like at 40% right now.
All right. Okay, no problem. Getting back into it after the song, the performance, some more light music, more jovial, celebratory music starts to play. Band starts to pick up. The singer seems to be taking a minute out, but the music just starts to play. People start to just freely dance, and the bit of dance circle opens up with partners and stuff like that, and children getting involved and things. What do you guys do now? There's a bunch of entertainers, I guess, now opening across Sanson Square. There's like fire jugglers. There's puppet shows. There's a bunch of different things. So what are you guys heading to now?
What time of the day is it again, Ish?
It's probably getting on for getting about 9 p.m.
Oh, 9 p.m. Okay.
Yeah, you guys started at 7, something like that, 7, and drank and here and there. So yeah, getting on for 9 maybe.
Probably sipping on some water at this stage and
Pacing yourself.
yeah, kind of not as bad as it was 20 minutes ago.
Any dancing going on around?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I think Thorek is gonna have some fun doing a bit of dancing.
Nice. So you take yourself off. You are definitely noticeable, and there are some women who are keen to dance with a very tall man.
I mean,
some men as well.
I mean, they can dance if they want, but nothing more.
Yeah.
You could dance if you want to.
I'm sure you can get a bardcore version of that song. So, Torkel, you see your traveling companion head off to dance. Do you just fetch another cask of mug of ale, or a cup of wine, or?
Yeah, Torko's going to grab some more ale and then sit and just annoyingly converse with people about their lives and what they're doing here and how they're enjoying the
to party
festivities.
members or to other?
No, to I'm assuming that if there's dancing happening, there's an area where they're dancing, so he's going to sit on the sidelines and stay close to Thoric, but he's 175 years old. His knees aren't built for a lot of dancing. So he's gonna sit and just chat to people basically.
Yeah,
you're like the guy who stands up on the podium, who's leaning on the bar, watching everyone dancing and just talking about dancing but not dancing.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Hendrik, what about yourself?
Just observing, sitting quietly, watching.
Okay. Yeah. Loranic and Orly?
I will be standing off to the side. I'm going to be probably close to Hendrik because I'm going to chat with Hendrik.
Oh,
I've probably moved over towards the Torkel, yeah.
Okay, cool.
okay. Yeah.
That's kind of perfect. So, because they're not kind of saw through his anger, and he's a bit curious, so just gonna. Okay. Here's for the first time, he's not going to be bellowing. He's going to be like supposed to get a normal volume. You seemed a little upset with the song choice.
Yes.
Would you like to have a discussion? What is the cause? Why are you so upset with it?
I'm only halfway down a tankard of beer. It is not enough to have a personal conversation of that magnitude with someone I've known for mere moments.
Very well, but it is a time of celebration, it's a time of joy, and the anger does not fit as well. But if you do not wish to speak, very well. I will not push it. We all have
I
secrets.
assure you I am having a extremely fantastic time.
He literally looks at you with like a raised eyebrow. Right. So be it. If you do not wish to discuss, then I will not go further. But I would invite you to continue having a good time then. And he's like putting that. But I, for one, would like to enjoy this celebration. It's a time for food and festivity and family. What more can most people ask for? And then I'm assuming he would probably go and get another tankard of ale and just mingle, probably. He's just going to be moving from place to place, chatting with people, joining in with some celebrations and things like that, but nothing specific. He's just going to go around and revel. What he wants to do.
Cool. Excellent. Orly?
Yeah, I'm gonna approach Torkel and present smile up. How did you two meet? Did you need something reached for that was very high up, or how did that work?
No, I did not meet my companion by needing something off of a shelf. We are both from the same city. Thoric is a good man. He helps and assists. We have some business that we are both attending. Our gods usually work with one another, and it just so happens that we are good enough companions that we were able to travel together.
That's great to hear. What city are you guys from?
Originally, we are both from Vard.
Huh.
A mining town, sort of northwest, I suppose, a little south of Erith. I studied in Erith for quite some time, but originally I am from Vard.
Oh, really? Well,
yes.
When were you in Erith? I spent some time in Erith also.
I spent about a century in Erith studying.
Wow.
Yes, it's a lovely city, and there is a lot going on.
City.
It's a very big city, yes. It's marvelous constructions that were there. I studied at is it Charthorn?
Yeah, Charthorn Academy.
No, did Charthorn Academy for quite some time.
What is it that you studied?
I am a cleric of Kinos. I studied the architecture, construction, smithing. Well, basically a lot of different crafts.
That's great. Do you like all the crafts or mainly architecture? Stonework, I assume.
I enjoy the pursuit of a goal and the creation of anything. So architecture or smithing or stoneworking, anything that creates something for the use of people, I find it very rewarding.
Great. I actually do some crafting back at home. My myself and my wife, we have a business for wood carving. Kind of small things, really, quite modest, but still
That is
crafting.
exciting. Where is it that you call home?
We live not too far north of Erith, within the big forest that covers the whole north countryside of Erith. Yeah, we live in a small enough town, Hallowfall. Not sure if you've heard of it. How many people come by, really?
I don't believe it. I've had. I don't think I have heard of that, Cameron.
No,
No.
he's talking about back end of yonder.
This is
Back end, yeah.
country fucking roads.
I can't say that I've
No.
ventured into the forest. Take me home. That is it. Wood carving is also something that is very useful. I enjoy, decorations for the mantelpiece. Do you tend to do smaller items, or do you do like the table that we saw earlier, where the archzealot was talking? Is that something that you would
Oh well,
carve or create?
it's just myself and the wife, so something on that scale wouldn't really be our boathouse. It's very common work what we do. There isn't much call for refinement, really. It's whatever gets the job done, so it's easy work. I do try and make some flourishes in designs when I have the time to, really. It's always rewarding to do the best kind of designs and craftsmanship that you can, but it puts food on the table.
Interesting. It is always, in my opinion, the act itself is sort of worship, and if that is creating something because there is a need or creating something because you like the beauty, both are equally rewarding. That's interesting.
I agree.
Well, in Vard, when I returned after having studied at Erith, we actually recreated the town hall. It now has a large glass window with the pantheon of the gods on it. It was probably the greatest thing I have created so far.
How long
Maybe
did that
perhaps
take?
it took some time. It was a lot of work to get the people to realize that having something for the city should be an expression of our collective. So there was some politics that went into it, but yeah, it took a while. Perhaps if we travel by there, we can go and visit it. It is
I would love that.
beautiful, if I say so myself.
That would be great, yeah.
And the other, Liranok and Hendrik, have you ever met any of them before?
I've recently bumped into Leonok. The two of us were helping out for these festivities. Well, the best we could. We chipped in just like everybody else, really. Hendrik, never met before until I think we spoke to him quite literally a minute before you guys joined us at the table.
He's another one.
Yeah, maybe he's just, he's pretty odd.
They make a funny pair. Liranok is very boisterous, although I think there is some stuff under the surface.
He's a gentleman. I quite like him, really.
And is there a reason that you are in the town, or is it just to celebrate?
It's my god,
And which god would that be?
Baldry.
Ah, I see. So you and Liranok then share
Yes,
a worship.
yes.
Well,
It's this is my first time at the at this festival. Actually, my wife and I were talking about going to this for years, and I was able to make it this year, but the rest of the family, somebody had to stay at home and take care of things, really. So yeah, next year maybe.
it is a lovely celebration. I am enjoying it.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so with that, after the next couple minutes, the dancing. It seems like there's some kind of performer steadily hedging his bets in the back, and we've got a large wagon that he's like pulled in, and behind him, it's quite heavy. You had teamsters behind him as well pulling it, and he goes up to like the crowd just as the music starts to like have a bit of a break for maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, would you please mind clearing the space to me for my performance? And people oblige and have to move back. And he clears a space next to a fountain, which has a big decoration of like a winged angel holding some scales and a sword in one hand and the other. Clearly a representation of an angel of tyr. And you see the man he set out these like loops like on the wooden pieces, like obstacles. He starts to set out like an obstacle course, and like little plinths to like jump or roll off. And you're wondering, is this going to be an acrobatic display? Like, is he going to set up like some stalls? And what is it, a clown show? And trying to figure it all out. And people clearing large enough space, and a little bit of crowd starts to gather. And thank you very much, Darren. Okay, it's hot. Okay, thank you. And as he starts to set himself up, you get a closer look at the man. He is quite tall. He's like 6'1". He's got a pretty wide build. He's got a sharp, not really the nicest looking man to look at. Like bit of like crinkling and maybe a burn scar here and there. He's got like a large Fu Manchu mustache. He's got this low kind of kind voice, and he's got extremely long straight hair down to his waist, like going all the way back, like mid 30s. Olive skin, brown hair, and green eyes. And as he like finishes setting up his team, setting up, he walks towards the crowd and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Izan Alves. I am the southern favorite tamer of beasts." And like, some light applauses. And he says, "I have brought my menagerie of favored creatures with me to perform for you, ladies and gentlemen and children I like." And he goes around pointing at the different groups of people as he says it. "Has anyone seen my show before?" And some, you like, a favorite fan. "Well, I mean, I've perfected my craft. I have trained my creatures all that bit more precise for today's proceedings and festivities. Could I have a volunteer, please?" And some little kid like gets pushed forward, and he starts to run back and goes, "Oh no, I'll not pick on you." And eventually a woman like steps out, and he goes, "Thank you very much, miss. If you'll just follow me right here." And he starts to lead her towards a series of like a curtain, like a large curtain that's behind her. And he says, "Miss, can I have your name?" And she goes, "Yes, it's Jocelyn." And he goes, "Oh, Jocelyn. Oh, very beautiful name. Old-fashioned name." He goes, "Thank you. It was my grandmother's." "Oh, I see. All right, Jocelyn. Okay. So I want you to look above the angel fountain just there, okay? Just look above that." And she goes, "Yes, just keep your eyes there." And he stands to the left of her and just claps his hands once, like this rigid pose. And from behind him, just this gust of white and multicolored doves just burst out behind the curtain. Maybe 50, 60 doves just fly out all at once and kind of takes her by surprise as they all fly to the left and right and above her. And she screams and hoots. And then above, the birds do this beautiful mesmeration, and they spell Jocelyn's name above the statue, and everyone claps, and then the birds fly away, and then they start to spell words, and they start to spell the wonderful, the brilliant, the talented, the famous Izan Alves Tamer. And he's like, "Oh, my birds are earning a pretty penny tonight. Yes, people, be generous, be generous. This is how I earn my keep. This is how I pay for my animals." And another teamster goes around and sets a few wicker baskets around in front of them. And the birds keep going. There's this kind of lovely display. He flies the birds in and around these thin, kind of obstacles here and there. And he says, "Your name, sir?" And he goes, and he says his name and spells it. And he goes, "Your name, Little Miss," and he spells it, and stuff like that. And the birds are doing this lovely, almost ballerina-like display while spelling people's names. It's quite something to take in. And after a few minutes of that, he says, "Oh, a round of applause for my lovely, pretty birds." And what do you call it? And everyone starts to applause and hoot. And then the birds fly back into their cages as the robe is, the curtain's been opened up for them, and then the curtain closes behind. What are your guys' thoughts about this piece of
I
horror?
would like to roll Arcana.
Uh-huh.
Was this all just illusion magic?
Make an Arcana check, sure.
I
Arcana.
would
Ooh.
like to roll as well, but obviously not Arcana. It's more kind of like I'm really curious about
Yeah.
how this is done.
Arcana check. These are real birds, Ryan. This is not illusion magic. These are
Oh,
real
wow.
birds that he has trained to do something like this. You don't detect anything magical really going on at all. It's all directions, it's like hand signals that he's doing, and like very complicated finger movements.
Hendrik slowly puts the gun away that he was about to pull out.
Mm-hmm.
He's clean.
Clean. Yeah. Mm.
Why are you the secret police?
But do you want to make
Just
a dex
absolute
check?
Judge Dredd over here, just like, "Ah, yeah."
Is it just intelligence? Is it?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, God, guys, we're so good at this game.
21.
Anyway.
Orly, you start to count the digits. You start to kind of. It takes some time to. He done it very quickly, but you're like, this is either the most complicated hand signal speech that you've ever seen, or there's something else going on. Right. It's a lot of work. And off the cuff, maybe these are people paid to be in the crowd to spell these names specifically. That's maybe what your thought is.
I was going at it with a cynical approach, to be honest, anyways. So
So I'm just eating my soup. Right. Okay. So, the group of you see that there's like a small intermission, maybe a minute or so, and then he says, "Now. The animal kingdom is filled with rivalries, filled with creatures that detest other creatures. You know, the mongoose and the snake, the scorpion and the traveler's foot." And people laugh at that. "But I'm going to show you two creatures that you would peg as despising each other. But to me, they have learned the majesty of friendship. Come out here, you two!" And Desert Wolf leaps out on one side, and a black-skinned panther leaps out the other side of the rope. And he says, "Now, play along." And they kind of shirk a bit closer and goes, "I didn't teach you to be so rude in front of our guests. A little bit closer." And they get a bit closer, and then the wolf, with its paw, like pets the side of the panther. Good animals, good animals. All right, now, are you going to perform for our guests? And both animals nod, and he says, "You to the heights, you to the wolf, to the ground." And you see the wolf like dart amongst amongst the obstacles at the bottom. Meanwhile, the panther has to leap between high bounded pieces of obstacles that is laid out, and starts to leap between it, and it's actually these large, like 15-foot, 10-foot jumps. And the wolf is starting to peer through, almost like a cruff show of obstacles moving through, and he's like barely being involved. He's like clapping and gesturing, and the animals are doing all this theatrical display. It's quite impressive to see. So that goes on for a little while, and then after a while, he like says, "May someone? I'm looking for something, a little bit of a trinket from the crowd." And someone starts to give a bracelet. "Oh, perfect, thank you." And he grabs it and says, "Is this important to you?" And he goes, "It was my mother's." And he's like, "Very, very pretty. Well, I hope you don't mind." And he just tosses it like 30 feet in the air. And he snaps his fingers. And then the panther like claws its way up some obstacles, and then leaps through the air, catches it in its mouth, and lands on the statue. There's like come down the statue, and the panther walks up to him and like hands it very delicately back in the palm of his hand. There you are, sir. And there's a big round of applause for that. And the wolf kind of does this like little act of like looking a bit like not showed up, and it's like, don't worry, next show you'll get your chance to shine. And this has been going on for about 5 or so minutes now, this entire production. And he gestures for the animals behind them. All right, go back now. You've earned your kibble. You've earned your meat. Go and rest. Go and rest. Now, what is a show without a finale? Now, this is a close friend of mine. I rescued him when he is but a young cub. Please, Mr. Bear, take your walk out behind the robe. And the bear, like this black bear, like comes out, likes to walk out amongst the crowd. People get a little bit worried, like, oh, it's a bear. And two teamsters walk up and they set a small miniature tea table and like teapot in front of the bear, and he says, "Oh, Mr. Bear, we are having some guests for lunch. Would you kindly show us how we prepare our fine dining for guests to come to?" And the bear, like, and with like a big like claw of its left hand, like lifts up the teapot and very delicately pours tea into a small fine china pot and sets it down. And he says, "Oh, very good, very good." Some rounds of applause. And he says, "Oh, but we don't just want our guests to eat or drink. We want them to have a bit of a show. Roll out the ball!" And this quite large, like theatrical colored ball rolls out behind the curtain, and you see the bear looks at it and he goes, "Oh, chop chop," and the bear like walks up to it, and then starts to climb on top of the ball and like roll around on top of the ball, walking in place very slowly, and starts to roll around him, and he starts to gesture his fingers, gesture his hands, and roll around him. And then, as that happens, people start to like this bear's so dexterous, this bear's amazing. And like people's coffers start to like empty up into which bear's like, "Oh, thank you very much, thank you very much." And then he says, "And now do a spin," and the bear like spins while the ball is rolling around, stuff like that. 2 feet, 2 paws, and the bear stands up on the ball as starts to roll around. And then after a while, there's this kind of he goes, "We won't ask the flip today. The flip is hard on him. All right, okay. Dismount, bear." And the bear like steps off of the ball and starts rolling around. And he says, "You must clean up your toys before you finish for the evening." And the bear goes, "Oh, don't be angry with me. This is how we pay for your food." And the bear walks over and starts to, with its head, nuzzle the ball back towards behind the curtain. And he says, "Oh, thank you so much, everybody, for attending my wonderful show, my tame animals. Thank you all so much. Everybody, come out for a round of applause." And the panther comes out, and the wolf comes out, and the bear comes out, and all the doves fly around. They start to land on neighboring boxes and neighboring obstacles. And he goes, "And once now for a bow," and like, oh, one big boy, and again, and another big boy. "And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much." And at this moment, you see like there's like this like almost like change. Like the animals have all got their heads down bowed, and then kind of the birds like start to fly around a little bit more. And then the wolf kind of picks its head up, and its eyes kind of adjust to lighting. And the bear like, and he turns around and goes, "What is your problem? You know better than to showboat. You fools, get back behind." And then the bear kind of like walks forward, and he's like, "What is the meaning of this?" And then the panther like looks around and like leaps up on top of a tent. "What are you doing?" And he puts his hand forward and starts to shake his like his fist at the bear. He's like, "I swear to God, if you..." And the bear reaches forward and bites on his hand and starts to scream. And I want all of you to find your tokens in the battle map as the creatures start to break loose of whatever reins they had or control they had, and find your tokens and click on them for initiative.
Where are tokens?
You should see them on the map.
We are not on the battle map.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
There we go.
The ringleader accidentally wore his meat scented perfume tonight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh god, and initiative rolls, I'm uniquely bad at these.
Oh wow.
Fuck off.
Hang on.
Uh,
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that one minus 2.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not bad. I'll take it. Oh god, fighting bears.
Bears.
The bears.
Hmm.
Da bears.
The bears.
Roll for the panther, and then finally the bear. Oh, they're all rolling pretty low.
Bear with me while I get this set up.
Shut up.
Alright, so you get the group in a bit. Alright, okay, let's roll for the birds. The swarm of birds.
The birds. Go birds.
Alright. Okay. So you watch this, you watch basically like the reaction of the animals that would be somewhat an animal would suddenly just drop in the city, just panic, just awareness of like where the hell are they? I'll move this panther up on top of here, that's where it jumped. All right, so Bulwark, Thoric, Finnegan, you are watching this man get his hand bitten by a bear. What do you do?
I'm going to move right up here into the middle of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that's the bear, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see the icon. It didn't make sense before.
I'm just gonna roll
And
damage for how much you got hit by. 2 seconds. Let's see how much you got hit by. Bite. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. 4. Okay.
and I am going to swing my warhammer at it.
Okay. Yeah.
Hammer time.
14 does hit.
And now that I've hit it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to protective taunt it.
Okay, what does that
Ooh.
feature do?
What is that?
On Spectrum, maybe it's my attack. All right. So you run in and you just upward strike the what would be the left arm, like right into like the elbow pit with the warhammer. And like bang, you hear some ribs crack, and then spits out the guy's fist. Luckily, not bitten off, just bloody. Just his wrist is bloodied, and his mouth, his hand is filled with saliva, covered in saliva. So yeah, you bonk it, you hit it right there, and then like you see the crowd start to like, oh, what is going on? What is going on? All right, okay, Hendrik, it is your turn now. Your turn now.
I will cast Bless.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
On whom?
Oh, it didn't take away a spell slot. That's a pain. in the ass. So that would automatically-
It doesn't do it automatically.
Ah, damn it. 3 creatures. I will do Lyranok.
Mhm.
And Torkel.
Hell yeah.
I don't see him on the fucking map. Oh, there he is. He's the fucking fire grandpa.
Yeah.
And myself.
Okay, and yourself. All right, what does it look like when you cast the spell?
I just snap my fingers.
Cool. And then Heavenly Light emit just
There's
these little
yeah,
like dots.
just a brief aura of sparkly golden light around my fingers, and then it's gone.
Cool. The performer. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
I'm
turn.
not done.
You're not done.
I will move. I will stay. Actually, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna stand on the retaining wall of the fountain just to get a higher position, and I will just yell out, "Do not kill the creatures. They do not know what they are doing."
Okay. With that instruction, Torkel, it's your turn. The Rannick, you're up next.
I think that Torkel gets up off of his stool and starts to push his way through the crowd. and starts pushing people back, and is like, "Please clear the area. We will deal with this. Go and sit down. Get away from the beasts." And then he'll. You just said not to kill them, but what do I have? Oh yeah, and then he like from somewhere on his person, just this big fucking mace appears that's like half his height.
Don't Harambe them.
You're just like boom, mace and shield, and then I think what he'll do actually is he will cast.
Just
Is everybody there?
No, okay.
Yeah,
Alright, so,
sorry, I'm
like,
just thinking. He'll cast. I don't really want to use a spell slot, but I don't really feel like Fairy Fire's. Fairy Fire gives you advantage, doesn't it?
yeah, it's an area though.
Yeah, so
You could
if
feel saving throw.
Oh, it doesn't stick to them. It just is that area that's Fairy Fired.
No, it sticks to them, but it will hit.
it's the initial casting,
Thoric as well.
it is indiscriminate. Just anyone in
Ah, right.
that.
Okay, so yeah, if I was to do a 20-foot cube, it would catch you, wouldn't it?
It would catch us and the animal tamer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, bad idea. I'm just gonna. Can you hold a cantrip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold Sacred Flame, because I don't want to rouse the bear like and agitate it now. But I'll cast Sacred Flame if the bear attacks any bystander or companion of me.
Okay. All right. I forgot the tamer's turn. He is going to disengage and panic and run and fall backwards into the marble fountain, and then swim through it 10 feet.
Honestly, fair. That's probably what I would do. If I'd just been
Everyone
mauled by
get
my
angry
own bear.
All right, Loranic, your turn. Orly's up
Cool.
next.
I'm going to be over a real quick turn. So he will reach around to his back and he'll grab a shield. He'll sort of equip that. And then he'll take the dash action. So, like, start pushing his way through the crowd. He's basically just going to go to there and be in the way, like a target, effectively. Because he just wants to make sure that they don't go to the civilians.
Okay. Yeah, no
and
problem.
that would literally be my entire turn.
All right, cool. Orly?
I've got a request / question. So obviously I'm forest gnome, so I have speak with small beasts.
These are not small beasts. The birds might be, though.
Oh yeah, the birds are. But taking that as a note, would I be able to at least try get close to them and gesture in a way to kind of like calm them down? I don't have much experience with doing this previously, but I'd like to try it.
You want to try and...
I will get as close as you think I'd need to get in order for them to kind of hear me and take heed of me
probably
trying
about
to
there,
calm them.
next to Torkel, get through the crowd.
Sure.
Okay. All right, okay.
Animal handling.
Animal handling, yeah, it's going to be hard DC.
Okay.
11.
Yikes.
So the birds are just like, there's rain, there's thunder, there's light, and they're just like doing this horrible like flocking, just like whatever murmurations it was doing, it's just like they're just flying through the air, just kind of panicked now in these like small little groups. All right, so that's your attempt to do that. Do you have any bonus actions or anything like that?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, so the birds. The birds basically panic and fly. They're going to fly through Thoric, or fly into Thoric. They're going to fly into Loranic, and they're going to fly into you, Orly, as well. So let me just open up their character sheet. Sorry, I need to move you for a second so I can find their character sheet. Okay, so you're on top of them. So flying into you. What do you call it? Sorry, these birds just basically, they're not like attacking you, they're more or less just panicking, and they're just flying into you. So we'll just say they're hitting with their beaks. So it is going to be a 17 to hit.
Miss.
Miss. Okay, Loranic, a 10.
Yeah, that definitely misses.
And on Orly finally for 22.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 4 piercing damage as the birds just fly into you.
I'm so small and they're still hitting me.
My
Alright.
real friend.
Okay.
These are the ones that I can speak with as well.
Please stop! Please stop!
The wolf is going to see you holding light. Sean is going to like run over towards you. But
Right.
Thoric, you can't make attack opportunities because you've got a tower shield. Loranic, you can make attack opportunity.
Okay. I currently don't have a weapon equipped, so I'm just going to use the weapon, but the damage is set at
Your strength
3.
score. Yeah. Okay.
12.
Yeah, you hit. Actually, sorry, no, you didn't. It's got a higher AC than that. Sorry,
No, that's
it's yeah. So yeah, unfortunately missed. That would have been good damage anyway, even a 3 damage.
No, well, it's just flat 3 damage.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So it's going to make a bite attack against you, Torkel. It does have a pack tactics. It does have advantage. Sorry about that. I'll put that on. For
Love to
can
see
you can you make me DC 11 strength saving throw, please?
Sure can. Strength save.
it. Bites down with his.
Oh no.
No.
No, he's got bless.
D4 bless.
Oh yeah.
Don't roll a 1.
Thank you very much, right?
Oh, he saves it. So what happens is the wolf just panics and sees you holding like fiery light and just runs forward to you and just like sinks its jaws into like your right hand thigh. And as it's trying to drag you off the ground, you feel like it's almost like levitational force stopping you from falling back. And you like start to basically elbow the wolf in the jaws, let release, and eventually releases you. You do take 14 points of piercing damage. Which
Yeah. 15 points of piercing damage. So I am on 4, brings that to 1 and 10. 21 health.
Damn. 35 hit points.
Yup.
The panther. The panther is currently.
Can I take a reaction?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna use skirmisher and move 10 feet over to here. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. So you're now standing in the fountain. Okay, so the panther is like, yeah, the panther is pretty high because it's an obstacle. It's on that tent, so it's going to pounce. It's going to move 20 feet straight towards you as it just pounces towards you. It's going to make a claw attack against you, Loranic.
Oh, that's fine.
So for 10,
Missed.
it does not hit, and then that's it. So it just lands on the ground next to you here, just lands past you.
This is exactly what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay. It turns around. It's going to then. So it's moved 20 feet, another 10 to get there. Still got a lot of movement left. It's got 20 feet of movement left, so it's going to move this way and jump up onto this thing here. Jump up onto this tent here. You can take attack opportunity against it if you want to try and kick it.
I already used
Actually, no,
one.
you used it. Used it.
What about fucking Dragon
The
Boy?
guard. Yeah. No, because it went this way. It went this way.
Through the enemy?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yeah, I guess it would go this way. Yeah, you're right. Fair enough. Yeah, so you can
I still
take attack
can.
opportunity.
Well, if it's jumping over me, then that's
Yeah.
allowed.
Well, he's also got a tower shield. Can't make an opportunity attack
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
well.
I can't do that.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh.
Yeah.
The
No,
black
he's got-
bear. The black bear. Yeah, it sees you in front of it, and it's just gonna kind of rear up on its back. And I think it's still actually this bear still isn't as tall as you. When it's full standing up, it still isn't as tall as you. It's gonna try and come down on your shield and bite you.
Fucking terrifying.
6 and then 18.
Miss.
Oh, what ACs. Top of initiative.
Is my held action trigger, sorry.
Yes, sorry, it does. Yes, you can Sacred Flame the bear. I need to make a dexterity saving throw for the bear. It rolled a 17.
Nice.
So I think it's saved and takes no damage from Sacred
It's a
Flame.
dancing bear. Of course it's
Yeah.
dexterous.
Welcome to Sacred Flame, Sean.
Yep. Takes no
Okay.
damage.
Top of initiative, the crowds.
It's fine.
It's fine. Top of initiative, the crowds just start to run and move away. They'll just start to disperse. They're on initiative count 20, so they just all just start running, moving away. This guard steps over here, and this guard steps here. I'll roll initiative for them now. 10. Okay, that works fine. All right, turn order. Where the fuck did I put the turn order?
Oh,
Where?
deleted it. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Right, okay, Black Bear. Top of initiative. Thork, it is now your turn. I'll just move these civilians.
Going to give it a hefty whack.
Yeah.
16 for 8.
Mm-hmm. You hit. Yeah, that's a pretty crunchy hit. Again, you kind of bring the Warhammer as it falls down on you and scripts in your armor. You like push it off, and you just bring the Warhammer down right on its spine. You go through fur, and you just hear a little bit like a crack, and you probably damage some vertebrae pretty bad. And the bear like almost gets crushed by the blow, then kind of rears back up.
I'm going to move up to here. Oh, the birds are there. Am I allowed to move if the birds are on me?
Yes, you're allowed to move within the space of birds.
Okay. And I'm going to once again protective taunt the bear.
Okay, cool. Hendrik, your turn, and then Torkel up after the tamer.
I'm going to twin spell. Guiding bolt. I'm going to hit the panther and the wolf.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to roll damage, or roll attack, and then I'm going to add a d4 to those because I'm blessed.
Yeah, okay. So what are you attacking first?
I'll go after the wolf that's closest to me. How do I fucking...
It's just a ranged attack roll. 25 for... Holy shit.
25 for a hit. Hold on. Just 29 hit.
Actual 29 to hit.
Roll this is for the panther as well.
Shit.
23. Holy shit.
Don't kill them! And so I started blasting.
It's 27 hit.
27 is it. So what happened is, do you just finger guns it? What did it look like when you cast like 2 guiding bolts?
I snap both fingers, or both hands, and 1 bolt comes out of each.
So the bolt of that hits the panther, strikes it, heavily singes the right hand side of its face, turns its basically burns its fur off, bleaches the skin, flash boils the pelt underneath, and it just has this horrific scar on it, and it's hurt pretty bad. The wolf basically combusts and flies back against this rock here and just bursts into cinders.
Oh no.
So we can kill them now.
Oh no, the consequences of my actions.
I know, didn't think this through, did he?
What's the it's invincible. It's like, I'm sorry, I thought you were stronger.
It's a wolf, not a dire wolf.
In addition, the panther, and the next person to attack the panther gets advantage.
Yeah.
You killed him, yeah?
Yeah, he destroyed the wolf.
To disarm.
He disjawed the wolf.
Claw.
Declaw. He disjawed.
I think you de-everythinged it.
Yeah. The tamer like looks around and just and just starts to run. So that's his turn, and he's still disengaging. Torkel, the Thoranic up next. You're muted.
Apologies. This panther's on top of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 15 feet on top, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to... Can I?
You'll have to toss me.
I'm going to move
Make that distance.
to the wolf, And I'm just gonna bonk it on the head with my
It's
mace.
the bear.
That's the
That's the
bear.
The bear, sorry, yeah, the wolf's dead. So Cameron, I have Blessing of the Forge, which
Yeah.
allows me to create one, like, well, not create, but like basically at the
Turn one
end of
thing,
the
one
long
magic
rest.
item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see the mace that I have.
Yeah.
Could that be magically imbued just now, or we have to wait till the next long
Is it
rest?
just the mace? I'll just drag a +1 mace in your
Yeah, it's just a
inventory.
+1 onto it for that. +1 to bonus to attack and damage for the weapon.
There you go. You got a +1 mace in your inventory now.
Sick. And then I'm going to use that to bonk.
Go for it.
18
18 definitely hits for 4. Yeah.
for 4.
A massive radiant hammer comes down and smacks it on the right thigh. The bear like grunts in pain. It's a little uniform it's wearing. A little cap have fallen off by this point.
And that's my turn.
Loranic, your turn with Orly up next.
Cool. If I stand on these boxes, can I get to the panther?
If you stand up on top of this 10-foot, yeah, you could swing at it.
Cool. I'm gonna try and grapple it.
Okay.
I don't want to try and hurt it. I just want to stop it from doing what it's doing.
Yep.
And
Okay.
so I think that's just athletics.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Oh god! Wait, I thought. Wait. So that's proficient. Wait, I guess I'm not. Well, what would be? No, it doesn't matter.
Combat conditions. No grappling, shoving.
Yep, not bad.
15 legs. All right, I'm gonna make a dexterity saving throw to see if it can escape. Oh, not dexterity. I'm just using these as dex,
Acrobatic.
but it's going to be acrobatics. Yeah. 15. So I'm going
Oh,
to say in the event of a tie, it goes towards the player.
Cool. Yeah, he's just pretty much going to grab hold of it. And I don't think I actually have any movement left then because it will be
No.
doubled.
Yeah, not.
But
from
yeah,
standing.
he's basically he's literally just grabbing hold of it, stopping it from going after anyone. Yeah, it's gonna hit. It's gonna attack him, but
Yeah.
that's fine. That's that's okay with him. So that's my turn. It's currently being controlled.
Yeah. Cool. So as this moment, like this fur breaks out and these animals start to roar and disintegrate in one fashion, and the crowd starts to spread out, and you hear like, "Get the shields! Fetch the shields!" And then like all these people like shouting for order and just moving away, and the music in the distance is still going on. So in the middle of all this, the music's still playing. Orly, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action hide.
Yes.
I assume there's a little bit of like a rim or something to this fountain. Cool. I'm going to utilize that if I can.
Yes.
I have to roll the sneak, don't I?
Yes. you do,
Rogue
yes,
stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Jesus. Okay.
That's pretty good.
And then a quick look around. The bear and the panther, are they still kind of like okayish? Looking
The panther's
okayish?
pretty hurt. The bear is
Okay.
actually getting pretty hurt as well. The birds aren't, but the birds look like they're about to fly away any minute and just go skyward.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a shot at the bear then.
Okay.
So it hits and kills it.
Yeah, I'm hoping not.
Well, that is a kind of
Okay.
crit.
Well, it was a crit, but
You could use your halfling
Not the
luck
crit
to
we wanted.
reroll the 1.
no, he's a gnome, not halfling.
Oh, sorry. True. Yeah.
None of that in this campaign.
Use that gnome luck. to-
Racist.
Yes, this is where you find out he's taking the
Oh,
lucky
I
fate.
can roll ones again. I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
Well, I don't shoot myself, hopefully, so I mean, could be worse.
no fumbles.
Somehow you managed to.
So that's your
Good.
turn, Orly.
That's my turn.
Break your
Yeah.
stealth.
Oh wait, he's hidden. He has
Advantage? Oh yeah, advantage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I should really put that as a thing.
Yeah. Roll one more time.
Fuck off.
No chance. No fucking way.
Oh my god.
That's so unlucky.
Night, guys.
Guys, I think we found the comic relief for the party.
Yeah. So hand crossbow goes off, and he typically just gets bit. Actually, I think what happens is the bulwark, Thoric turns, and the it just gets intercepted by his metal and just bounces off.
We're gonna take a cupful of water from the fountain and drink it in
Yeah,
hopes
clearly
that I
still
was
drunk.
still drunk.
The birds just basically just fly away. They just go skyward and just disappear. There was 3 of them. Where's the other one? There it is. Oh, yeah, they all just disappear. It would have been the
Do they
guards turn.
spell
then.
anything as they leave?
Yeah.
Oh
they-
fuck!
they spell freedom.
Yeah.
Just a
Um,
giant middle finger.
Yeah. The guard here is gonna dash 30 feet to hit this guy, and this guard here is going to dash this way 60 feet there, and like they're shouting, "Stop him! Stop him! Don't let him get away!"
Yeah, because he's the
Yeah, there's
fucking
more
threat.
pressing things
I
going
mean,
on.
yeah, priorities, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I think we're handling it quite well,
Yeah.
but
The wolf is dead. The panther is going to attempt to make a escape test.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw test. With a 13.
No, it's
Opposed again.
Yeah, fuck!
You wrestle it back. The bear here,
Going nowhere.
the bear here is just going to just run. It's just going to run this way. But 2 attacks opportunity against it.
1.
Right, just
1.
me, I think.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. 6 for
Yeah,
bad.
misses. So basically what happens is the bear is just like in fight or flight mode. It just runs through the crowd. So someone might get hurt. I would say he just is. How do I word this? I'll make him make a strength check. 13. Yeah, I'll say he pushes this person out the way and pushes this person out the way, and he's in the middle of the crowd now, just running away. Thorek, it is your turn.
Guess who is going to follow?
Mm-hmm.
And despite Hendrik not following his own order, I'm going to try and non-lethal the bear
Okay.
with a hammer.
Big hit. Big hit. Yeah, you hit it. It's still up. Bears is still conscious and up.
And,
Hendrik, it is your
and
turn.
Is it
Oh, sorry.
fairly up?
once again, going to protective taunt.
Active taunt. Cool. Hendrik, it is your turn.
I will cast.
Fireball.
Oh wait, I know what to do. I will run over here,
Uh-huh.
and I believe the aid action can be used for like grapple checks.
Yeah.
Shit, right?
Yeah.
Is it aid action? Okay, cool. Then I will aid Lyranok.
Cool. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Okay.
I'll help. That's
You help.
the
You help.
term.
All right. The tamer. He's gonna try and run. Let's roll. Let's roll a save for him. See if he just. Yeah, he runs. He runs so hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's gonna attempt to run. He's gonna dash, but let's see if this guard here. This guard is gonna basically try and rugby tackle him. So let's see if that works. This is an attack opportunity. So strength
Trip attack.
11. Yeah, he doesn't have a trip attack. So him, and then Izan. Where's Izan's character sheet? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he's got a dex. So he can try and dodge the dex. Oh, so he gets grappled. He gets rugby tackled to the fucking ground, and that's him rolling around. He's like, "Get off me! Get off me!" And like trying to slap fight the guard off him. So he's now grappled. Torkel, your turn.
It's me. Yeah, I'll move up and I
Bear's pretty
will
hurt.
guide and bolt the bear.
Okay, yeah.
2 seconds. Hold on. guiding bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Level 1.
Yeah.
14.
The bear turns and it's hit by the radiant bolt. Which where do you cast it from? Do you cast it from your hammer?
Yeah, he like points the mace forward and then like light like comes out of his vambrace and then channels down through the mace and then out the tip at the top.
Okay, yeah. Blasts, radiant light basically hits the bear in the head and just basically there's a spurt of blood out of its mouth and its ears and its eyes and it just falls down dead.
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. Okay, Lorana, your turn.
Cool. If I remember, I can drag the panther. It's like half my movement, right?
Yeah, correct.
Cool. I'm pretty much just gonna drag it down here.
This is so Scooby-Doo because the panther's probably trying to dig its claws into the material and
It's
pull.
like Jungle Book when Baggy gets fucking dragged by Baloo.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's gonna drag it with him, and then I'm going to cast the sleep spell
Oh, okay.
because it's pretty hurt from what you've told me. From what I remember,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm really hoping I'll get above its hit points. So let's see if it works.
How many hit dice?
It's 5d8.
You would be physically impossible failing this check.
Is it? It's less than 5.
It's less than 5.
Okay, then yeah. So what he does? So he pretty much grapples it to the ground, and then he sort of gets just in front of it, and you know that thing where you just hold it's like two of his fingers light up,
Mhm.
and he just sort of waves it in front of it, and you know, like the whole hypnotic thing where you just sort of follow along with the
Yeah.
things. It does that, and then he just sort of taps it on its temple, and it just out,
It just
just unconscious.
just out. All right, and with all of the creatures accounted for and dealt with,
DM,
there is a
Can I
yeah.
cast Healing Word on the wolf?
The wolf is
Is-
a singed, destroyed corpse. It is burning and sizzling.
A little singe. It's still good. It's still good.
I still give it a try. I'll still expend the spell slot.
Okay. Well, actually, how much damage do you deal to it? 16?
What's his HP? What was its HP?
Yeah, actually, okay. Yeah, your healing word would bring it away from its saving throws.
Okay,
It
cool.
lives on the. It does wake up with 1 hit point though.
Yeah, it does. You could have waited until like a fraction. If I could have waited one more turn, I could have got both of them in that sleep.
All right. We'll say the wolf is so heavily damaged, and the fact that more and more guards are showing up that the wolf gets cornered, and is dealt with.
Okay.
We'll say that the crowds just start to disperse, and more and more brass shields start to come over. You see kind of a senior brass shield come over. And they walk up like to the group of you. What are you guys doing in these moments before officials arrive? What brass shields arrive?
As that was all dying down before we got pretty much encircled by brass shields, would there have been a window for me to kind of? What I want to do is possibly scale a building or just get to a high ground without it being too much of a fucking show. Do you know what I mean?
Make a stealth check.
Yeah, sure.
19. All right. Yes, you get probably 2 rounds worth of slipping away. So up to like, what's your movement? 25. So like up to like 100 feet. So you get like on a 2-story building up a balcony where no one's home. It seems to look like the balcony's empty, and you can start to stare down into this corner of Sanson Square where this has happened, this altercation has happened. So you're out of it for now.
I just wanted while I'm up there, can I just take a quick look around? I'm actually primarily interested in the rooftops. Is there any activity, anything happening along rooftops or anything like that?
Sure, we'll make a perception check, then we'll move along.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
It's my
No, you
third
don't
one.
see any.
This was passed on from me.
You don't see any puppet masters. You don't see anything obvious. You just see the birds still flying around. And the thing is, there's a massive fucking tent above their heads. They're not flying into the sky. They're just bonking off the top of the tent. They can't escape. So, yep. The huge canvas lid on top. So, the group of you, do you guys kind of conform together, consolidate into one group?
If I remember rightly, the bear like pushed 2 people down,
Over.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as the panther is asleep, and he's like
Mhm.
very sure of that, he will rush over to them and sort of just he'll start like checking over them, like are they hurt? Do they need any help? Is there anything I can do?
Mhm.
He's
Mhm.
almost fussing over them, where it's like he's making very sure that there's nothing, that there's no harm has come to them, and if there is,
Yeah.
he'll figure out what to do.
Yeah. So you're helping them.
Absolutely.
Thoric, what are you doing? Are you crouching over the bear?
I'm just making sure that the bear isn't a threat anymore, and then going over to Hendrik. I was like, I thought we were meant to kill them.
I guess you couldn't help yourself.
I didn't
He's
kill
just
them.
gaslight you.
Just staring at the.
I didn't kill them.
Wait, if I'm out of character, is my memory faulty, or did Thork not murder the bear?
Orko
No.
did with the guiding
Oh.
bolt.
Oh, sorry,
man,
my bad.
having Torkel and Thoric. as a
This is
duo.
like the second time you motherfuckers have done this, where you picked the same damn name. What's your last name? I'll call you by your last names.
It's Borkel.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a Phrygian.
Sorry, I had to. Oh, wait, is it combat over?
Yeah,
So I'd like
combat's
to
over.
change what I said, because I was talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Just look at Thork like I have no idea what you're talking about, and just like petting the wolf.
The wolf is does not want to be touched.
It's like
Yeah.
trying to bite me, but I'm like, oh, here, yeah, you just here, bite on my wrist. It's fine.
Yeah. So the only animal that died was the bear. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is it's like brass shields basically march up and they start to like point spears at the bear, just like stuff like that, and like a kind of leadership position looking brass shield walks up with a bit more of an ornamental like plume at the back of his helmet, and he gestures towards like a group squad behind him and points to like corner that wolf, and then looks. It's like, what's the story with that beast? And points at the panther.
It has been dealt with. It is asleep. It can come to no harm for anyone for the time being.
Sergeants, round up all these beasts, get them in cages, get them separated from the public. And they go, yes, sir. And they got with multiple shouts. You four, thank you very much for assisting. My name
Has
is.
anyone come to any harm? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, no. So like, he absolutely would interrupt with that
Yeah.
to make sure.
No, except this one over here. And gestures, and he's like, "Get off me! Get off me! I am a professional. I am an entertainer. I will not be." And he's like, he'll probably end up with a broken nose by the end of this for causing such travesty on such a holy day. He says, "My name is Captain of the Guard Raimundo. I am overseeing security measures here within Sanson Square. What a terrible shame that I couldn't spot this before it happened. What did you see go on? We haven't had time to ask too many witnesses. What happened here?"
It seems as though the performance was going quite well, but near the end, it seems as though perhaps something with the cloud, the thunder, the environment, it spooked them, the animals, and well, one thing led to another, and they acted as beasts do, but they are not. There's nothing there to be harmed. He's like probably gonna look a little bit at Torkel. Like, actually, no, tell a lie. He probably didn't see that. He was busy dealing with the panther. Never mind. Ignore that part.
Yeah, he nods and says, "Such compassion. It really embodies the spirit of Baldry. You should be proud. Not many people would have wished to see such beautiful animals get harmed so readily, even though they were making it fairly dangerous."
He looks around and scans it and says, "This one here, traveling entertainer, the four of you. What business do you have? Are you just here for the festival?"
Sorry, what was that at the performer or us?
Yeah, like to the four of you, just like what
Oh,
business
okay.
do you have?
Yeah.
Like,
You
just the
like
festival.
like well, like pans on the chest. I am here for the festival. It is, and just sort of probably gesturing towards the symbol on his chest on Baldre. Like, it is an important day. I would not miss it. I have been helping out here for the past couple. I'm just going to say like a week.
Yep,
Like,
that's about time. Yeah.
yep, I've been helping out here for the past week.
Okay. Thoric, Hendrik, and do you guys say anything? And Torkel.
I'm accompanying Torkel.
Mr. Torkel, what is your business in Lackbeer? You're muted, Sean.
You guys hear me now? Yeah, sorry. My headphones fucked up. Is the event, the funeral that we're here for, isn't in this town, is it, or is it in this
Yes,
town?
it is. Yeah, it's on the outskirts of this town. Yeah.
It's just in a couple of days. Yeah, I would say that me and my friend Thoric are passing through. We have a funeral that we are here to attend in a couple of days.
I see. What if people will travel for that funeral?
It is important. Very important, man.
It
Yeah,
definitely
come
is.
pay our respects. It's unfortunate that these people have gotten hurt on this day.
I think the only one that's gotten seriously hurt is you. And that's just for someone to come behind him, and a brash old knot without a weapon, with like a medicine bag by it, goes, "Sit down, sir," and gestures for you to sit down on his close by stool.
Yep, Doc will sit down and get some help.
He's going to cast Cure Wounds on you. 1d8
Nice.
plus 2. You get back 9 hit points in total. Cast it
Hell
twice.
yeah, brother. All the way back up to 30.
Yeah, so it heals the worst of the bleeding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He says he's just about to start a sentence, and then you hear like a commotion and like more brass shields arrive, and goes, "What is the meaning of all of this? What is going?" And then Raimundo just like gets this look of like, "Oh shit, boss is here." And you see the Archzealot in her brilliant like trailing robe, now that she's walking with it, to walk up, and she's got this kind of granny, like holding her chest and like walk around and goes and like kind of gasp, and says, "Captain, explain exactly what happened here." And he goes over and gives her a lowdown and gestures. And these brave 4 men stood in and defended the populace from these wild beasts. Is that so? Very good, very good. Embracing the method. Anyway, right, go see to that one. I want him in the patrol house, and I want no visitors. Yes, miss. Yes, I'll tell it. And he walks over towards the man being arrested, and he's just shouting and wailing, and he's like, "What's going to happen to my property?" Yeah, and I don't think he's actually really seen the dead animal yet, or anything like that. But yeah, so the Archzealot makes her way over towards the 4 of you, and you see this, Orly. You can see all this happening. So she walks over and gives a look over. My, I didn't realize people still traveled so heavily on these days.
Oh, it's my job.
Sometimes the road is not very welcoming.
I prefer not to get involved in combat, but sometimes needs must. I don't know where that accent was. That was really more like Sean's. I need to work on that.
She coughs a little bit. Well, it is curious to see. Wait, a bulwark. I think I've heard of whom you are. You're the one carrying the official papers for the burial, aren't you?
Indeed.
I like to know of official matters dealing with important events happening in the town.
I couldn't discern what you said. What did you say?
She just said she likes to know what's happening in the town.
Ah,
She nods and says, "Well, thank you all very much for being so brave and stepping in. I will inform Raimundo if you stop by the patrol house of the Shields to add a commendation to your identity stones. That's the least we can do for you."
We appreciate it nonetheless. Just we
Very
are happy to
thankful.
be of service.
Yep. The safety of the people you reward enough, but we appreciate anything else.
I'm
You,
just glad
sir,
that no one
in
was
the,
hurt. I'm sorry.
you, sir, in the black, do you have anything to say? Thank you very much for helping as well. Let me extend my thanks to the people of Rakmir.
Nothing in particular. I do need to go to the headquarters of the Brass Shields anyways. I'm here on business of Tyr. Unrelated matter to wild animal attacks.
Ah, very well, very well. Well, I'll mention that to Raimundo, and he'll see about getting whatever you need done within the patrol house tomorrow or the day after. Whatever you need. Again, thank you. Thank you all very, very much from all the people of Rakmir. And there's a bit of a crowd worked up here, and stuff like that, and staring and stuff like that. And Brashield's trying to move along, people, move along, and Brashield's starting to like pack away whatever obstacles that are around, these delicate, like fancy made obstacles and like little pieces of art, and they're just chucking them into the wagon that all the stuff came out of, just throwing it in, and the animals are getting put into the cages just like they're originally transported in. That's getting cleaned up pretty fast. And she says, yes, well, there's much more proceedings, much more handshaking, and all that pageantry to go on first evening. Do enjoy the rest of the festival. Again, I can't thank you enough for stepping in. If anything, it shows a highlight that we do need even more brass shields on security for festivals like this. Again, remember that commendation. Remember that. And she walks around and shakes all your hands. She's a small woman. She is old. Now you get a good close look at it, Burkle. Like, she's well over 300 years old.
Oh,
she's a really old dwarf.
She old.
What is her name again?
Her name is... Oh, where's my notes? It is Vela Stratton.
Okay, thank you.
Put that in there. I'll put that in there. Vela Stratton. Arch... Zealot of Rakmir. God, I can't fucking spell.
Rakmir.
There you
go. There you go. Yeah, and then there's Raimundo as well.
Arch Zealot for 131 years.
196 years.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I was just going off Legend Keeper.
Oh, I thought it was.
She's been
age is 399.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Legend Keeper. Cool. Yes. So basically, she's like, this has all been cleared up. This has all been handled very quickly, and within maybe 5 or 6 minutes, the body of the bear starting to get loaded on a wagon. Like, maybe you guys helped to load that up, and some people
like carting it to the kitchen.
I don't think that. Bear fat's supposed to be pretty good. But yeah. So the 5 of you are.
Yeah, well, what happened to her? What like Lernaga's actually like looking around, going, because they kept mentioning 4 and where's. I'm well aware there's like negative 3% chance I'm going to see him, but Lernaga's actually like looking around, going.
Make a perception check then.
This is where I crit again. No, absolutely not. That's fine.
Yeah, you look around and you realize you're missing one of your number. Or you see the Archzealot leave and
Did he get lost in the crowd?
start to move away.
Well, once the commotion dies down, I'll kind of regroup. You see me try regroup in a nonchalant way, but it just looks awkward. So
Just
Yeah, so
slide in. Like, oh.
yeah,
yes. So Orly rejoins you, and the five of you now have successfully defended members of the public. You have stood in the way of people getting hurt. So for Orly and Torkel, sorry, not Torkel, Orly and Loranic, you two can add a point of piety to your character sheets.
We'll find out what that actually doesn't. Oh, right. Oh no, it's already one. Okay, cool. Wow, that is an awful color. Well, because I've got it on dark mode. The background is like dark grey. So what color do we put the actual number for piety? A light grey.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
But anyways, yes, sir.
Hendrik is going to speak up one a few times this session. Just ask, do all four of you already have lodging here?
I think we've just arrived.
Yeah.
I do not believe that we have anywhere to stay.
You're not going to be able to find an open inn during a festival like this.
No.
Actually, no, sorry, we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
do.
were staying with Bed of Roses Tap House and Inn.
oh shit,
Convenient. We are
That's
staying at
where
the
we
same
are.
inn.
There, this is the fortunate occurrence. We could perhaps go there to rest. Yeah, Hendrik, have you got somewhere to stay?
I was going to stay at the Brass Shields. Usually they have a room or two for traveling people, as long as, you're part of the order.
The Order of the Blast Shields?
In a ways, yes.
you're more than welcome to join us.
Your reverent comedy would be welcome
Absolutely.
in the tap house. And Torko just kind of grunts at you.
Oh, although I would give you a warning. You have been with the worker status is currently going to be quite slim tomorrow morning. You have been requested not to make breakfast orders too complicated. And he's saying this in like a jovial manner. He's like just sort of going along with it because it's just going to be. Was it Pio or Pio?
Pio.
Pio. Oh yeah. It's just gonna be just him, so he's like just joking around with it. But
Hendrik just stares at you for a solid 5 seconds, trying to figure out if you're making a joke or not.
he's kind of
Before
is.
just
Not like joking
moving
at your
on.
expense. He's just like, he's just in a happy mood.
Well, if you're able to find accommodation there, maybe I should try. The rooms for at the Brass Shield are minimal at best.
Did Pio mention if there are any excess rooms or?
He didn't mention it, but like there probably will be. Probably be some staff member or someone probably not traveling all the way back to stay there tonight.
Or some people are going to get too hammered and won't make it back to the room.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, that's going to happen every time at a festival.
That's Orly.
It might be Ollie.
We did help set up plenty of kind of like beds and stuff for followers and stuff. So
Yeah,
there has to
there's
be
plenty of
one.
room. Yeah.
That's fine. We can try. It's like we're happy to have you join us.
So you guys want to head back to the Bed of Roses tap house?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So as you leave, you do get like a little bit of a cheer and a whoop, like from people around you, and some people thanking you as you leave. Some brass shields like thanking you as well. Not like handshakes, but just like, oh, thanks for stepping up and stuff. And like a bit of a shrug on one of them, like knocking like, we'll teach that one a lesson and stuff like that. And someone jokes like
they're not concerned at that sentence.
Someone jokes. Someone jokes and says, "He won't survive a week out there at the Vardian Mines."
Leronok's head will snap to them. Like
the punishment for releasing a wild bear within city confines is 2 weeks of hard labor.
Okay,
I wouldn't wish the mines on anyone.
I really thought they were going to say like they're going to kill him. Never mind, that's okay. That one's more acceptable.
He's just gonna walk himself to death. It's okay, guys. He's just gonna die, might and dog.
Like,
an accident he didn't mean.
How ruthless is it? Like, do they people die from being worked in those mines.
If hard mines is bad.
If he survives, it's because
Ooh.
of God's will to redeem him.
Oh, no.
Leonok does not like this.
It seems like it's quite a harsh punishment for something that he did not mean. I don't think there was any malice in his inability to control his bear. Perhaps we should have a conversation with the Archzealot.
Sounds like a good idea to me. As I said, to lose control in such an environment is not unexpected. It is unfortunate, but at least nobody was harmed. Nobody
That's-
but him, at least.
That is true.
Torkel's like looking at the big rent in his side. This is
Although-
true. Nobody of any consequence.
Oh, that's a good point. How hurt are you? Are you?
I've got like 5. I'm like 5 hit points off, so it's
Cool.
mostly healed over at this point.
Leonok will. I was going to say reach over. It is unfortunately more like reach down. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
It's not. It's our point. He's not doing it in any condescending manner. He is
Did
just
you
gonna,
take a
like,
knee?
You just head patting.
I don't know. What's the code of conduct when it comes to like basically touching a dwarf? Do you take a knee, or is that considered rude?
Just go for the
put
shoulder and not the head.
A
and
hand
we'll see
Okay,
what
yeah.
underneath
happens.
each forehead
Yes, he will put a
and
hand.
just
He'll put a hand
lift
on
them
his
up.
shoulder.
There we go. I have it on
Yeah,
memes.
that's exactly
Yeah, I
know-
know what meme it's gonna be. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, actually, yeah, that's exactly what I expected it to be. Yeah, Leonard will reach down. He'll sort of put a hand on your shoulder, and he will see like Leonard's entire figure sort of glow, like not extremely bright, but he's noticeably glowing like a gold with a white, like a very pale white glow. And I will use lay on hands for 5 hit points.
Nice. That'd be appreciated. I feel back to know.
So you're healed. You're ready. As you move through and leave Sunson Square, and you head back to the original point you're at, because you were literally just basically right out in front of the Bed of Roses tap house. The evening is taking a turn. It's like more drinking, less eating, more joviality, humors than it was when it was a bit more. You probably get the sense maybe some more families have maybe went home now, or have went like basically closer to where their homes are and started celebrating in their homes. So it's now more adults, more young people, stuff like that, starting to celebrate the rest of the night. So it's a bit more young people here, a bit more impromptu dancing with some impromptu buskers and accordions playing. So as you head back in from the front door, it's locked. And you have to wait a minute, and then Pio comes down, and he's actually no, he would still be in his regular clothes, and I didn't expect you back so early. I told you to go enjoy the night, and then sees a little bit of fleck of blood on your armor. What happened?
Ryan is heavily breathing. I'm sorry.
And saying this to you, Lorana.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was it was an eventful night for us, but we are all here. No worse for wear. There is every wounds have been dealt with, but I think our companions would like to rest. Also, we have one more who has currently not had a room. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my accent. It's going all over the place.
At least try.
This is true.
He has been without a room, and we are wondering if there was a spare one.
I'm sure we can work something out. And he opens the door fully and sees all of you. I recognize those two. You paid up front. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll find some room. That's no problem. Come in. This is just staring at your armor and like your clothes and stuff like that. And he just gestures the bar and goes, "You guys look like you've had it. There's some bottles of spirits behind the bar to help yourselves. I'm away.
Gone.
See, yeah. And,
You didn't hear the rest of the sentence. He had this mulled spirits, and he's
yeah.
You hear clink
Yeah.
after he says
Yeah.
it.
So as you guys all come in, he locks the door behind you guys, and then starts to head up one of the stairs close to the bar end, and gives you a bit of a wave, like saying he's going back to his room.
have a good night.
Yeah. And now it is the 5 of you, a few bottles of stuff, whatever you choose to drink, and an empty common room.
What's the strongest thing here?
Me.
Probably.
Nice.
Aren't you like
That
actually?
was
Aren't you like
believable.
20?
I'm strength
so good.
20.
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ.
Level 3, boys.
Fucking hell. This guy could bench press all of us.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, new mount acquired for Orly.
whoa! Now buy him dinner first.
True.
Is there any dwarven ale in this establishment?
I mean, there's maybe some very rare imported Mondier ale that's
Hmm.
like pretty expensive. But
Yeah,
you
I'm
could
not
have a
gonna.
swig of it.
I'm not gonna abuse his hospitality by drinking the
Yeah.
dearest thing he has. You would just grab some Erithian ale, maybe something that reminds him of his time studying. So, like a pass blue ribbon,
Yeah.
basically.
There's Drake's Sin vodka.
Yeah, why not? We'll do that.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the
get
strongest
like
drink.
ripped in half by a fucking wolf, so I'll drink that.
As is common for Sean's characters. So you have a swig of that, and and it's just the 5 of you. Maybe you start to like clip a few plates of armor and start to clean off some of the mess that's on it. But yeah, it's just the 5 of you.
I am drinking and having whatever food is available.
I mean, you could just step outside and get some carry
Yeah.
whatever you want. Then.
I go
Yeah,
out,
right,
I pick up a
Already,
whole
Very good
I,
idea.
I pick up a
yeah.
whole
I've
pie,
eaten
I
too
come
much
back,
already.
I eat it in like 2 bites.
Oh. Okay, cool.
I've already eaten too much.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go out and bring a few plates in and see if anybody else wants food.
Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, just the floor is yours, guys. If you want to discuss anything.
Torkel, was it? I did not mean to overhear, but you said you were here for a funeral. It sounds like a significant event, but I am sorry, I have not noticed. Is there someone close to you, or
More of a colleague or a tutor than someone close to me, but he was someone that I assisted when I was at the Charthorne Academy.
you studied at the Triathlon Academy? Did you?
I did for some time in the Kino swing, probably roughly a century, I suppose, before I then came back to embark on an undertaking.
Studying for a century. There certainly are some advantages to such a long life.
It was, I was given the opportunity by the townspeople to go and study at the Charthorne Academy. So when you are gifted something like that, you want to use as much of the time as you possibly can. I think at the end they maybe got sick of me, but learning and helping was always something I enjoyed.
I think you and I are going to get along well. I agree. Being able to help, there is a responsibility to it.
Yes, if you are able to do the things, if you can build and you can design and you can create, then you should use it for the good of the people, is my opinion.
I am not one for creating, I'm afraid. But I have been traveling this quantity for, well, for some years, we'll say. I have been doing my best to help people out, to heal their wounds, cure their ills, do everything I can to help out.
That is good. Where did you have to travel far to come to Rakmir?
Well, how best to answer this? Not, no, yes, I suppose I did travel far. I was farther up north but it is more traveling is what I do. It is my vocation, so it is not too out of the ordinary for me. I have traveled the length and breadth of this country, but just so it was not that I was traveling for the festival specifically, but I was around here at the time, and I knew this was a significant location for it.
Interesting. If you've travelled all over Erith, have you ever been to Breakwater?
Yes, I spent some time there. Not too recently, I'm afraid. I've been in the north for the past 15 or so years.
The Kingdom of Tearland is in the north, right?
Yes, not that far north, but like I've not been in Tearland, but he's been in the northern like center to northern reaches of Erith.
Yeah. I must confess, having spent so long in Erith, I have not been able to travel up to north. I hear that it is nice up there. There are prairies and grasslands, and I believe Oakhart is on the coast or close to it, and then further north than here.
Yes, if you go to the, I'm sorry, there's a region that's like the actual far north, isn't it? There's the one that was taken. If I can find that.
Edgecrest.
Edgecrest, thank you.
Edgecrest.
Yes. Yes, Edgecrest is the furthest reaches north. There is a great many farming fields there. Yes, the country is quite nice, although the fort is necessary, I saw.
The fort, I don't think I have
The
seen it or heard of it.
Barrow
Fort?
Yeah,
Abraham
but Barrow Fort. It is there. It is quite dominating, but yes, the rest of the country is quite nice. I've been up that direction, but I try not to go quite that far.
That is
I was
understand.
staying more around Oakhart and a little bit further past there. I try and not to go towards the border.
That is understandable. Peace for now is good, but perhaps no, you don't want to get too close to Tearland.
You'll see him give a very sad smile and be like, "Yes, it is very nice for now."
So I know that you have been traveling, and I know that our friend Orly has it came from. Was it Hallowheart?
Hallowfall.
Hallowfall. But I don't know. Hendrik's with us, right? He came with
Yes.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hendrik, I don't know where you're from. Are you originally from near Rackmere?
Near Edgecrest, most of my time has been in Erith, though.
That'd be interesting. That is a long way to travel if you were originally from Edgecrest. Did you do anything, study or spend your time doing anything in Erith?
That is a very complicated answer. Yes, helping where I can, studying what I can, mostly doing. Well, here, let me show you. And he just pulls out the bind, like the leather tome he's been carrying, and he opens it, and it's not like a book where all the pages are loose, and he just sort of like flips it around towards you, and it's just like a spreadsheet of information and dates and like locations and paperwork, and I essentially help certain churches keep track of things.
Enoch will do that thing where he looks at like the spreadsheet and smiles and nods and has absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Like he's not dumb, but it's just like this is not my specialty.
Meanwhile,
All right.
Thoric has no idea what's on the spreadsheet, but he's super interested because it looks like information.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be secretive. It's just it takes a long time to explain, and most people don't particularly care in the details.
Right. follower of Tyr. It is all. It is enough for us to know now. You are, if you wish to tell us more, we'll be happy to hear it, but I do not wish you to reveal some things you do not want to.
Well, okay. So, about 9 years ago, there were some sacred vases which were stolen. And 8 of them were reclaimed. And the agents who did the job, I don't think were very thorough. So I'm trying to find the 9th vase. The case is very cold. I'm just following up, in essence, to make sure that they didn't miss anything big, to make sure the case actually is closed.
A worthy cause. Well, wish you all the best on it.
And he like flips to the pages, like the loose pages, to show you like the page that has the documentation on it. And I'm sure you can't tell like most of the shit, but there's like a drawing of the vase. And he shows you that piece of paper, and there's like a stack of like 50 other papers underneath that.
Orly hasn't said anything, but
Is Orly even conscious at this point?
Yeah, he's like drilling over himself in the corner.
Roll a death saving throw.
he's intently listening, whilst his head wobbles slightly.
I don't suppose any of you were here 9 years ago?
In Rakmir?
In the area.
I can't remember when it was.
No.
I've never been here before.
Afraid not.
I have been here. I've been here before, but not, as I said, not for quite some time now.
Okay.
I'm sorry that we couldn't be of assistance for you, but perhaps we can assist you if you need to go and talk to anybody.
I appreciate that. I've only been here a day, so these things take time.
They do. No, the funeral that we are attending, it is for a rather notable scholar of Bahamut. Nathaniel was a close friend, as I said. We worked together in Erith. Perhaps they may know something about. I'm sure that my companion can attest. Note taking and the dissemination of information is very close to a lot of the practitioners of Bahamut.
You wouldn't believe the size of the libraries that we have, the amount of record halls.
I don't think the answers to this case reside in old tomes. It's more groundwork, coming out here and seeing what the reality is.
If there is a lot of people coming and going, they may have some kind of ledger that these people that write everything down. And then he just gestures to Thoric, who has, like, you have a notebook on you, like, basically at all times, right?
And he certainly swings that hammer quite well. It was certainly,
Sorry, I got distracted by
quite
someone
adept with it.
coming into the room. What was I asked?
Oh.
You basically have, like, a notebook on you at all
Oh,
times,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, you'll see that there,
Yeah.
like on his side, there's 2 books. One is like an actual tome of something that's sort of calligraphied in. It's a proper book, and the other one is more of a thick diary that he holds, that he keeps notes and drawings of stuff that he's come across and things that have happened. So he's like, yeah,
Do you like show these? Do you like show these?
yeah, like this. This is the sort of history that, as Bahamut training for Paladin, we were given, and this is the diary that we all keep. You know, in case the diary that we all keep, so that you know how anything can happen anywhere. We need to be able to record it and share it.
You are a Paladin of Bahamut.
I
do not see those. I do not see those too often.
He scratches the back of his neck a bit, and then kind of lowers part of the gambeson in his armor to show the tattoo of like an initiate, but it's not complete. He said, "Well, I was trying to be. I didn't make it, so I'm a bulwark."
Ah, I understand. The trials of a fucking the accent, man. I need to practice more on this. The trials of a paladin are not easy, but I'm sure the god Muhammad smiles upon you all the same. They do
Yes,
not they do not often pick favorites.
the
To act in their service is enough.
my family comes from a long line of Bahamut worshippers. My brother succeeded in the paladin trials. My family prints the paper that feeds a lot of the records and books that the church uses.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Oh, if I'm really, Dragon Balls have like normal human lifespans.
They're actually shorter, slightly.
Are they?
I think it's like
Okay.
80 years.
Oh, it is cooked. Was it?
I think.
Then you'll still
I think
have.
it's like at 80 is the next age or something.
Oh wow, that's a shock actually. I think you'll still have many years ahead of you. There are rules and ceremonies to being a paladin. It is a part of it, yes, but it is the acting of it that is more important.
It's
Whether
more
you-
that I'm not so good up here, he says, sort of tapping his head. I was having a lot of trouble remembering a lot of the prayers and incantations. I couldn't pass the academic parts of the trials. The
Oh,
the worshipping, the devotion, the combat, the protection, that I flew through. Academically I was never great.
whether it is official or not, in the eyes of the gods, that is enough.
Hendrik
I
will take his leather-bound book and like flip through it a bit, and then turn it around.
The diary
towards
or the tome?
Thorek. The my
Oh,
tome.
okay.
And show it to you. It's like the level of professionalism in note taking is obvious. It is a good place to start. Not a simple diary for fun, but to record for the future.
Oh, that was part of the like he takes out the diary and opens it, and it's like very structured, and sort of you have like straight.
Is it though?
Oh, it
Is it
is.
though?
The structure is fine, but how he writes it is a little bit like
Oh god.
his words aren't
Sans.
great, kinda. Uh, so
Second
like
scratch.
it's like he has the page laid out to like the sort of title, the script, like sort of the description, the sort of what event was around it, sort of personal feelings, little square for art, but it's his ability to do the art's pretty good, but his wordage isn't great. He still tries though. You can make out what he's trying to say. He's just far from the most eloquent person.
Not very erudite.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any more business?
I think I've interrogated everybody.
You notice that Orly has drifted off to sleep during all these conversations.
Dorley is getting some drool on the floor. I think it's probably time for us to go all to bed.
Yeah. I think with that, all of you start to retire to your lodgings, and you start to rest up, knowing that you've enjoyed a great day at the festival. You have experienced some proper art, some proper culture, and also helped preserve that art and culture by saving some people from some wild beasts.
And not killing any animals personally. That's also a big one.
Yeah, there's no kill counter this campaign, so don't worry about it. So yes,
That number's going to
so
stay at 0.
the group of you all retire and find rest, and into the wee hours of the morning you sleep as it passes from the 10th day to the 11th day of Wawel, first of Baldry. And with that, I think we will end the session there, guys, just before 9.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Well fucking done,
Love
lads.
D&D, man. So like trying to do like a Scandinavian sort of accent, just generically. It's like very like lilty and it goes up and down and stuff like that, but it makes me feel like there's no variance in tone. That makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of get you.
It's hard to do. And also, like, I find myself just slipping into Scottish as well, but like fake Scottish. If that means like not my actual accent, but like an accent.
Yeah, a non-Scottish person doing a Scottish.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's really fun. Everybody seems to have quite interesting characters. I'm excited to continue. Let's see.
It took me a while to get back into role playing. It's like it was only a few weeks since I last played a D&D game, but like with the other guys I'm playing with, the RP isn't like they're new to it. You know what I mean? So like to get back in playing with you guys onto that level, it's like it was difficult to fucking, you know.
Yeah.
But bouncing off each other was kind of.
I'm still trying to figure out my character.
Yeah.
I think we all are, really.
Yeah.
I know how he acts, but
Yeah, I was going to ask Cypher that one of the flaws is that my guy's quick to anger. I'd pick that off the list. I feel like maybe changing it to like he's like too naive and trusting, if that's okay.
That's not
because I
bad.
think that fits
of
him
course.
better.
I think I made all custom.
Speaking
traits.
of a distance of time for playing, obviously I haven't GM'd in more than 12 months. Was it noticeable?
No.
No.
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
I think the preparation you put in obviously always helps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone enjoyed the feel, the description, the
Yes, absolutely.
Very much so.
Yes.
good. That's excellent. Yeah, we'll pick back up next Sunday, and we will get into a few more days of being in Rackmere, and we will attend a funeral.
Awesome.
Everybody wear your nicest black suit.
And then at some point, I need to ask how the fuck Thoric fits in a bed.
Yeah.
Man's 8 feet fucking tall. I don't think
He brings his own.
It's like that.
What he does is he like blanket burritos and curls up.
He knew what he was doing when he made a fucking giant.
I actually didn't think too far ahead, apart from Dragonborn 20 strength. Okay, 8 foot.
I'm sitting there going, 6'2". 6'2". I'll be reasonably tall. Meanwhile, fucking 8 foot. Like, oh, okay.
Now imagine how big a tower shield for an 8 foot Dragonborn would have to be.
I mean, if you were playing a 5 foot tall Dragonborn with 20 strength, it would be somehow more impressive. Just like, oh fuck, he's coming.
This man is literally a square.